Here, but we're going to get started. So as people are coming in, I'm going to give you a few introductory things. First of all, we are officially sold out of our advance tickets for House of Blues. And is Praise here? Is Praise here yet? She's not. Okay, well, I was just going to sing her praises. Get it? Slow clap up there and left. Okay, so Praise. We are officially sold out, or we have two more?
We have one more.
We have one more.
Yeah.
Anybody want to buy one House of Blues ticket right now? We have a hand raised right here, Cole. Yeah, Venmo to Low Faber. Okay. So I know you know all this already, but I'm going to repeat it for some of our faculty panelists who have never seen this before. All the groups you're going to see tonight have been formed randomly into the groups. They haven't chosen each other in these groups. They've been put into the groups randomly by me. They have had to go out and sign an artist. They've had to draw up a legal contract with that artist as well as a contract among themselves. They've had to choose a song, record a song. 5, your group is looking for you. They're over on that side. They've had to put together a marketing campaign, including a website, social media, branding, graphics, photography, etc. They've had to shoot a music video. They've had to come up with a business plan. They've all invested $20 in their project, so they've had to budget and expense their money. They've had to perform a live show, and they've had to put together all the legal documents for all of their various musical activities with their artist. And finally, they're all going to write individual papers, which, as you saw, hopefully, I have pushed the deadline back to Sunday night at midnight. So your legal and management binders are still due Friday. And if you're in the Thursday section, you're wondering, where do I turn my legal management binder in on Friday? You can turn it in the Music Industry Studies office anytime on Friday. Okay? Or you can find me if you can find me on my office, you can turn it into me. Your individual papers are going to be due Sunday night. So they've done all these things. They've written individual papers, and they're going to do a presentation for you tonight. Now, last night we went long, and tonight we have one more presentation than we did last night. So we're going to be extra strict about the time of your presentations. You have 8 minutes per presentation. If I'm sitting down here, which I will be, I'm going to start twitching my pencil back and forth at minute 7. That means you have 1 minute to go. At minute 8, I'm going to stand up here by the podium. And when you see me standing here, it's time to wind it to a close, no matter where you are in your presentation. You're then going to hear from the faculty members. And I'm going to introduce our faculty members at this time. We have Rich Collins, who's the founder of Imagination Movers, and also teaches ensemble and songwriting in popcorn. We have John Snyder, who is a record producer, attorney, and our Music Industry Studies Department chair. We have UP, who's a record producer and also runs our studio and teaches hip-hop, ensemble, and urban music production. We have Mia Borders, who is a honest-to-God performing, touring, recording artist right now, also a graduate of Loyola and also teaches ensemble in PopCom. And we have Kate Duncan, who coordinates the PopCom program and teaches just about everything in PopCom. Now, when the groups do their presentations, faculty, we want to hear from each of you. But we don't want to hear from you very long. We want to hear one good comment, criticism, compliment, whatever you have for each group. And give them a quick second to respond, and then we'll move on. And don't make me give you guys a hard time about the timing either. And we'll all survive this. Everybody ready to go? Yep. All right. There's a change in the program. The group that was scheduled to perform last was Emerald Entertainment. We've bumped them up to first. So everyone else is going to be back 15 minutes. The order is going to be the same. So this is Emerald Entertainment. I'm going to turn it over to their manager, Italia Moore.
All right, hi everyone. Welcome to Emerald Entertainment. I'm Italia Moore, the manager.
I'm Kirsten Keller, Legals.
I'm Taylor Mapes, the A&R producer.
I'm Luther and I'm in charge of marketing.
I'm Rachel Michelle and I'm creative.
I'm Jocelyn Santangelo and I'm live production.
All right, so our mission statement is here at Emerald Entertainment. Hold on. All right, here at Emerald Entertainment, we dig deep to find the artists that shine the brightest, and we want to discover the sounds that speak to every soul and inspire those who have yet to sparkle. Through our tight-knit network, we strive to touch upon a higher level of professionalism and innovative excellence. So basically, our group wants to strengthen those artists who have already kind of established themselves and help those who haven't really gotten their foot in the door. So from the beginning, as far as our group dynamic, we knew that we wanted to be really tight-knit and communicative. So we stressed our responsibilities and made those clear, and we were really specific about clear communication in our meetings and our group messages. And we also thought it was really important to have a really strong bond with our artists. So Kirsten's gonna talk about that.
Hello. J-Lox is a New Orleans native rapper whom we felt fit very perfectly with our group aesthetic. She represents and embodies the 4 words: dedication, drive, confidence, and unity. She's a very driven artist dedicated to reaching every single goal she sets her mind to. She's an avid believer in carrying yourself with courage, bravery, and confidence. J-Lox finds an abundant amount of importance in being yourself, and she's strongly rooted in the idea, belief, and practice of unity. As a group, we all share these qualities, so we thought she'd be the perfect artist. Rajay chose J-Lox as her stage name because she started her lock journey 3 years ago, and they've become part of her personality, aura, and overall being. The stage name symbolizes her connection spiritually and physically with her locks. We created an agreement contract to clearly state all that is expected of the 2 parties, being Emerald Entertainment and J-Lox. This agreement helped decrease a lot of confusion with our group and kept things very organized. Taylor will be talking about A&R.
So J-Lox wanted an instrumental that reflected a 90s hip-hop club song. So with that in mind, I made the Another Rap Song beat to try to emulate that. So we had our recording session October 14th, and Cole was our TA. J-Lox had a specific vision going into the song. She wanted some of our group members to be a part of it, like Kirsten sang the hook and harmonized with Luther in the 2nd verse. Overall, the recording session was a blast. It went by smoothly and quickly. It took about 10 takes to get the whole song the first session, but I had to go back 2 times to fix problems in the mix. But once the record was polished, we distributed it through DistroKid on all platforms. And Luther's going to talk about marketing.
Hey guys. So we as a group understood that marketing is an essential part to building an artist's following. J-Lox started off already having a Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, and YouTube account, which already gave us a small audience to reach out to. At the beginning of the project, she had 3 YouTube subscribers, but now has 26. Her SoundCloud account started off with 39 followers and now has 61. Her Instagram account gained 160 followers and she now has 668. We created J-Lox's website, jloxmusic.com, in order to showcase her music, photos, and videos, and also to notify people for upcoming performances. On the website, we include a mailing list which now has 24 members. Marketing was definitely a weakness for our group since we didn't have access to her social media accounts. Despite this, we made sure that she posted weekly in order to maintain a steady following. The music video shoot definitely helped boost J-Lox's following, and I will now pass the mic over to Rachel.
So on the day of the studio recording, JLux told me she had a vision for the music video that she wanted to do a 90s house party, and that we all thought that went really perfectly with the vibe of the song. So throughout October, we began planning for the music video. The first thing we had to do was find a date that worked for all of us, including the artist, which ended up not being until November 9th, but having a later shoot actually ended up giving me more time to plan a storyboard and to find inspiration for the shots, and also to find a really cool house to shoot at. Taylor's friend Ryan Fragamini created this really cool promotional poster to get people to come out to the party, and so a lot of people ended up coming out, and it made the party real and not just for cameras. And on the day of the shoot, my friend Connor Baudier, who's a freshman film major here, he came over and helped me set up the lighting and also shot on a second camera for me. And without his help, the music video would definitely not be as cool as it is, and I really appreciate his help. And in the editing process, I wanted to stay true to JLux's 90s vibe, so I tried to give it like a VHS effect to it, and we'll show you a clip of it now. So we released the video on November 21st, and within 5 days we reached over 1,000 views, which was really, really cool. And as of today, we have over 1.3K views, which is super incredible and not something we expected. And I think between the combination of having a really fun video shoot and the success with the reception of the video, it definitely boosted JLux's following, and we gained a lot of new fans. And we're looking forward to them coming out to JLux's show on November 9th, which Joss will tell us more about.
Thank you, Rachel. Like Rachel just said, our show is this Saturday at the Willow from 8 to 11 p.m. The show's original date was going to be December 2nd, but because of availability, we had to move it. However, I think this will be great exposure for JLux, considering it's a Christmas-themed event, as you can see, and we have an amazing set list. At the show, I will be collecting emails to expand her fan base and to increase her popularity. As for the posters, one I made specifically for JLux, as you can see on the left, and on the right, that was made by the organizers of the event. We hope to see all of you guys there.
All right, so ideally, after the live show, we don't want this to come to a halt, and we want to continue our progress, taking into consideration all the things that we've learned from this experience, and we want to hopefully see exponential growth in JLux's success. So in the next 6 months, we want to continue booking her around the city and just build her fan base. And an email list is going to be really vital in this because we want to target Louisiana hip-hop fans and maybe in the next year do a statewide tour. And so basically, we want to stay true to our mission statement and be professional and innovative so that Emerald Entertainment can grow along with our artists. Thank you.
Who wants to start it off?
Why don't you start? So we're going to divide this up: performance, production. I'll do legal and money, and he'll do song, and she'll do visual.
Okay, I don't think anyone should hesitate.
So did you take that?
Okay, go ahead.
I'm just gonna dive right in. Whoa, it's a little high.
Just take this off.
All right. So I'm talking about performance or just whatever? Strike the mics in, I see. I mostly appreciated the fact that you guys were all a part of the music. It's not like you are a team working with a musician from a distance, you know what I mean? You were all a part of it, you made the beat, you sang the hook, you're in the video, you know, doing all that stuff. I really appreciated that. That's not something that I've seen from too many companies. So kudos. And I also heard that song on Spotify. Didn't know it was y'all. Props.
Okay, so as now this is everything in terms of the quality of the song, things like that, the mix. From what I could hear very briefly, it sounded pretty good. I had no qualms or complaints or critiques about that. I think you did a good job on that. Echoing what she said, the fact that everybody kind of was a part of the record together, that's a big plus. Side note, that look, the font was from the 80s, not the 90s. And her style and image that you guys went with was late 80s, early 90s. More of a kid and play look that y'all went for. If you think about the 90s, that's Diddy, Jay-Z, Cash Money, No Limit. You got, your era's a little confused, but it's all good. Good attempt. Yeah, it had like a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
So the legal stuff, you have an agreement with the company and the artist. You have to also have all the licenses done. Hold a minute. All the licenses are done and you've got everything buttoned up, right?
Yes, sir.
Releases, all of
Yes. All in our green Emerald Entertainment binder. Yes.
Good. Tell me about, I didn't hear about social media. What was the deal there? Did you, I mean, I heard some that you raised some numbers, but did you do the social media?
No, I didn't. J-Lox did. She didn't give us access to her accounts.
Did she do the track as well, and you just added something to it?
Yes.
Wait, what? I mean, how much of this did you do or did she do?
Well, basically, she had, more so she wasn't quite comfortable giving her passwords out. So being that I'm...
I got that, I understand that. So but as far as the recording goes, you did the recording, right?
Yes, as far as recording goes, we did it here in the studio.
Okay, cool. So anyway, I thought that the legal stuff is buttoned up. You made any money? You made some money, right?
Well, we haven't had
You make any money on, no money on the gig, right?
So we did like investing and everything. We invested in her website and everything. We all invested our $20, and we haven't had our live show yet to really profit from that. And we're still like waiting to like find out about the royalties and everything from DistroKid. But there was a situation with the music video shoot where we did have to put up a little bit more money than we had originally planned on investing. We ended up having to pay for a broken window on set. So that was $200 that we had to pay. So it was like a lot of loss. So we're kind of hoping to gain some of that back with our live show on Saturday.
Well, look, y'all did a great job. You looked great on stage. You did a nice. You rehearsed it, obviously. So thanks for that.
Thank you.
I have two notes. One is a grammar note. You don't need an apostrophe in the 1980s.
Yes.
It's not possessive, it's plural. That's so just next time you make a poster with a decade, chop the apostrophe. Do all the English majors a favor. But my more important note is I thought the track sounded really good. I thought that your voice sounded good. That was you singing the hook. My only note was though that your voice was similar in timbre and pitch to the lead rap. So the hook to me, it wasn't jumping out like it often does with a rap. So if you guys go back and do revisions on that, I would try and look at making a gang vocal. Just try other things so that the hook jumps out versus the lead vocal.
Couple of things. First of all, so if you start out a relationship as a management team with your artist that also produces the track, makes the beats, sings the background, is that an expectation that you're setting? And this is just a hypothetical question, I don't expect an answer, but things to think about. If you were continuing a relationship with J-Lox in an in-depth, serious way, are you setting some precedents for how you're going to interact with her, musically and business-wise, that you might not be able to keep up with, right? So just something to think about. Okay, so I know that there was an issue with her feeling insecure about giving her passwords to you. I think that's an opportunity lost where you could have made her accounts just for this event and shown the value of what you can add and say like, here's the fake stuff. So was that, I see some.
I tried to do that.
Okay, how did that go?
I tried to make a YouTube account that wasn't allowed.
Weren't allowed by whom?
J-Lox.
So she wasn't giving you access to.
I asked her if I could make her, because she has a YouTube account under her name J-Lox, and I asked her if I could make her an account for J-Lox under her name, but to post the video on it, she said no.
That's why we don't use this kind of artists. So we make that point.
Yeah, I think that's a value issue too. If you're not able to convey what value you can add through an endeavor like a YouTube account or social media, whatever platform, then that's something that either A, you have a communication issue with your artist, or B, maybe you're not selling it enough.
I was gonna say the video was actually on 2 different YouTube accounts because JLox actually was not opposed to the idea of having it on another platform. She just wanted to make sure that it was on her artist YouTube account that she already had, you know, all of her music on, which in my opinion is reasonable.
Yeah.
You know, already have your stuff on there. So there is actually the same video on another account, and it did get likes. So we do have a kind of differentiation to go from.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, next group. So now we're at the front of your score sheets, faculty, at the 7 o'clock time. This is going to be Glass House Productions. And your thing is there. All right, this is Glass House Productions. Their manager is Lillian Davis. Take it away, Lillian.
Hello, everyone. We are Glass House Production Company. I'm going to introduce the team. I'm Lillian Davis, the manager. We have Thomas Getz, who's over legal affairs. We have Philip Dion, who is our marketing head. We have Neil and Edgar, who was over our creative department. And we have 2 A&R members. Armani Getty was for A&R for our live show, and Amelia Di Fabrizio was over our recording session. Our mission statement here at Glass House is, we are Glass House, a production company based in New Orleans, Louisiana, looking to develop an artist while making hit records. So during our artist search, we looked for 2 weeks for an artist, and here at Glass House, we wanted someone who was very authentic, someone who screamed New Orleans, so we found our artist, Kevin Gullidge. He's a 3rd-generation jazz musician. His music's very R&B-like, blues, jazz, very sultry. And as you can see in his look, you'll see him with a lot of red. The color just screams like sultry, like his sound. So he was perfect for Glass House. So now I'll let Amelia tell you more about the song. Can you play it for us?
He brought in a few original songs that he wanted to record, mainly a few ballads, but he presented the song to us, Get Used to the Water, which was a pop fusion with R&B, and we thought it was a really interesting, youthful sound that would be really energetic and nice to brand him as to a more youthful audience. This wasn't his first choice, but we really thought it was representative lyrically of his New Orleans roots and his heritage. And we developed the song from just a piano and vocal track to a full instrumental ensemble. We had a horn section, we had guitar, drums, bass, which we really felt energized the track and brought it to life. We released it on CD Baby to all platforms because we really just were focused on exposure to a larger audience. And so Philip will talk more about how we marketed Kevin.
Hey guys, so I did marketing for our group, and the one thing with Kevin is he was already very established as an artist in New Orleans. He's grown up in New Orleans, he lives in a very musical household, and he was already pretty well established. So I thought the first move was to totally, instead of adding onto his personal social media accounts, to totally scrap them and try and make one for under our company as well. And we also made a website, which is convenient because he didn't already have a website. So we used Bandzoogle to make that website. It was very easy to use. The layouts were already made for you. And it was really easy to showcase the artist. The statistics of the website is over the course of 1 month, we gained 275 total views of the website and 67 total revisits. Next slide, please. Their popular visits was from the Gulf Coast, specifically Louisiana, the East Coast, West Coast, and I found personally interesting, we even gained somebody from Ireland, which was really cool. Next slide, please. We marketed him on Instagram as well as Facebook, SoundCloud, and YouTube. On Instagram, he gained over the month that we marketed him was 138 followers. And on Facebook, he gained 13 likes. SoundCloud, for the 2 weeks that it was up, he gained 102 streams, as well as 3 followers. And on YouTube, over the course that it was up and online, we gained 103 views, as well as a lot of supportive comments towards Kevin Gullich. And speaking of YouTube, I want to hand it over to Neelan for Creative.
So, as you can tell from the video, this song really represents a warm, homey New Orleans feel. When we were in the studio with Kevin, he talked a lot about how New Orleans is about, if you come into the studio and you're a studio musician or a musician, and you come in and this song is right there in front of you. You just have to learn right there, it's about getting tossed into the water. And so we really tried to represent in this video with shots of what Kevin really thinks about New Orleans. And after we collaborated a little bit, we decided it would be good to write what he thought and get some shots on top of the parking garage, also in the archives with history. So that's what we did for the video. I shot it on a camera I got from the library. And when making this video, I had to learn how to use the software and I had to learn how to shoot videos. So this was a real learning experience for me. So with that.
So I was in charge of the live show. So for the promotion of the show, as a group, we all passed out flyers throughout the campus. And I was also able to post the flyers on bulletin boards throughout campus and the Dana Center TVs. And the live show, we had a nice turnout. I felt as though Satchmo's captured Kevin's sultry and soulful jazzy feel. And we also did collect emails, and with that, we want to let the fans know when Kevin will have more performances. And now I will pass it on to Thomas.
So here's a brief overview of our finances. We put $30 in for the website. We did Bandzoogle. We didn't put any money in for the video because we did shoot it ourselves. And for CD Baby, we put in $15. And for the live show, Kevin agreed to play for free. So we didn't make any money on that, so it was a total of $45 spent. So in signing Kevin, we did our basic group and artist agreement. The way we did the finances, we agreed that Glass House would keep 50% of all earnings and Kevin would get the other 50%, except for the live show, he would get 75% and we would get 25%. That didn't apply because he did agree to play for free. We did register with BMI, and we are currently registering his song, Get Used to the Water. And because there were so many people in the backup band, in the recording studio, we did have about 10 work-for-hire contracts just to establish that they wouldn't hold any copyright on the song. So back to Lindley.
So as far as our future plans here at Glass House, we want Kevin to do more local gigs. But in the future, we want him to have a tour. We want to invest more money in recording and more money in marketing. So we are Glass House Production Company, and we thank you for your time. This is our presentation. Thank you.
There we go. I have a couple quick questions. He originally had social media, and you guys scrapped it?
Yeah, so we had a lot of followers on his main Instagram. It was just Kevin Gullich. So we made Kevin Gullich, or I made Kevin Gullich music, and just kind of, instead of working off of his personal account, just kind of worked on another account and tried to gain a following from that one that we started.
I think that was a questionable decision. If he already has an existing fan base, it's always good to capitalize on the existing fan base. whereas starting from scratch is, you're starting from scratch.
Right.
I did have a quick note. I think the background vocals were a little low in the mix. And you spend a total of $45 out of your $100
Yes.
budget.
Yes.
I think you could have found some more areas to contribute a little more financially, maybe the music video, maybe even kicking Kevin some money for the gig. But that's just me as a performer, playing for free. Ooh, it hurts. All right. But overall, good job.
Okay, question for you. Who was the TA for the session?
Ross was our TA.
Ross was the TA? Okay. I like the song. The song by itself was great. The overall mix and what I heard, I wasn't necessarily happy with. But you can hear the talent. You can hear the creativity in it. So that, if that was the point, then that point got across. But when it comes to the overall sonic clarity and things like that, that wasn't impressive. So that was something that I would definitely say needs to be worked on and, made better. And the video, of course. You could have definitely, even if you had to spend $5 or even just ask a friend who maybe has video expertise to help you just a little bit, to help video flow, lighting, different things like that, to help them shine a little better. Because you have such a talented artist, you kind of want that to come through a little more. And I feel like that could have been shown a little more. So other than that, the song was awesome.
Thank you.
A couple things. The reason that we kind of favor using emerging artists rather than existing artists is because of that social media. It's one of the reasons they already have their stuff. They don't really need you. But if they have it, if you have the artist who's got all this stuff in place, then you have to leverage it, which means you would present pre and post. Like, what were they getting before you got involved in Facebook Live, whatever, and then what after. But what you did with starting over again, at least you made the best of that. It's not huge numbers, but that's why, because you weren't able to leverage the past, I would think. Why did you pick CD Baby?
We picked CD Baby because it had a plethora of streaming platforms, which I thought would be beneficial just for exposure purposes, and also for the price. I thought it was a really great deal.
So there's a back end of that, though, right?
Yes, we haven't gotten any checks yet,
No,
but
you wouldn't. Not for a while. But anyway, there's a website, Song Hack, that's got a chart of all the online distribution platforms that rates them and describes them in terms of what you would like to accomplish. And putting out one record might be better done, say, on DistroKid. But anyway, you might check that out. What else? The release that you get in the studio is to give you the rights to use their performance. It's not necessarily to tell them they don't have a copyright interest. You would say they don't get royalties, they don't get any additional money, but basically it's to get the rights to use their performance on the record. Even if you pay them, you have to get the release. So that would be the purpose of it. I'll pass it off.
I thought the use of live band was a great choice. I think Kevin's got a lot of potential to appeal to listeners who are looking for something not the program pop music, but they want to hear like a New Orleans funky groove. So I think that puts him in a good trajectory for like the festival circuit and all that, Roots AAA type of audience. So I thought that was a good choice. I agree with UP that the mix could be more pristine, although I only heard a short amount. My only critique, I would say the video. My one suggestion is when these are happening, to get them out of like the obvious campus settings. The song is so suggestive. One simple solution could have just been to shoot like the video in the recording process. It's a performance video, but you have 2 or 3 cameras going while you're recording the video, and then you can edit it together. But he sounds great, and I'm excited for his future.
thank you.
I'm going to demonstrate what I'm about to tell you. So in a very short amount of time, if you have to impress somebody, you need to be very strategic about the information you show. The video information that we saw, 29 seconds of, was like so disjunct in the thread of the narrative that it was, kind of paralyzing, and I was trying to piece together what's going on here. So making sure you pick a segment of that that video if you only have 29 seconds to show. If you're pitching to another artist, here's what we've done for this guy, we could do the same for you. I would never hire that because I don't know what video aesthetics to bring. The mix was rough, but I was surprised he didn't catch it as an artist. He needed to listen to that, and if he hasn't heard it, I'm hoping he hears that it was rough, because his background vocals were abysmal. And the last piece is, the website was did I see the homepage and then the next page? Is that what was in the present? And you don't have to pull it up again.
No, the homepage was the sleek computer look, and
Yeah.
then the next page was on mobile, and that was all the different pages in the mobile view. Like if
Okay,
you're looking
again,
at it on
that's a
the phone.
presentation issue, because it was impossible to discern what was going on. If I'm seeing it in a scrolling mobile version, I guess that would be okay, but you have to show me it in a scrolling mobile version on a presentation so that I can pick up what you're putting down.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. All right, next up we have Intrepid Recordings, or Intrepid Recording Studio, as the slide says. Their artist is a brand new artist. He's a freshman here in the intro class, who will be presenting a little bit later on as manager of his own group. And manager of this group is Sydney Parrish. Take it away, Sydney.
Hi everyone, my name is Sydney Parrish and I'm the manager of Intrepid Recording Studio. As a student-run record label, we believe that artistic expression should be heard. Our goal is to nurture and develop aspiring artists who want to make a difference in the world and to go where no artist has gone before. Together as a group, we believe that Perrin, better known as Heartbreak P, exemplified our mission statement.
So, Heartbreak P is an R&B hip-hop artist based out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. As a well-rounded musician and someone who's had a lot of studio experience, we thought Perrin would be a great artist to work with. Although he already has a self-produced album on multiple platforms, before signing into our label, we figured that we as a label could increase his potential and really get his name out there. And so, as the A&R for this project, pretty much from the start, I had the idea of using a solo hip-hop artist for a few reasons, but mostly because I felt we could work more closely and sort of intimately with the individual as opposed to, say, like a group or a band. And when I met Perrin, I was really impressed with his sound and just the way he kind of expressed himself in his songs. I thought it was really unique. And I was also impressed with just the sheer amount of time, work he puts into content. So I just knew he would work well. And so for the song specifically, we all basically just met up and had this big brainstorm session, came up with a few different ideas, but we ultimately settled on the idea of a sort of single material song, for lack of a better term, because we really didn't want to give too many suggestions because we wanted to leave as much of the creative side to that to Perrin. But we figured that with the single, we would be able to build his brand and sort of spread his market more effectively just going off of the grace of only one song. And so on the day of the recording session, he came to us with a song called Tinted Windows, which was really good, and we liked it a lot. We have the video with the song here, but before that, here's Alex to talk about the video.
So personally, I think the video process went really well. Perrin and I had collaborated on the video when we met up. We both had the idea, since the song is called Tinted Windows, we should record around the car. Unfortunately, neither of us had one, but Blake was able to let us use his car. Perrin had a location already in mind. In the video, you can see it's on top of a parking garage. So when we went there, we saw opportunities to shoot. I borrowed a camera from the library, so we didn't invest any money in production or editing or anything. So after the video, Blake and I began the editing process because I had never edited a video in my past and I needed some help. But Perrin volunteered to edit the rest of the video for us, and here's a snippet of the video.
Pressure than an ocean breeze, no cost, no corny. Think about that shit and that ain't what you thought. Like nothing is better, nothing's lasting forever. This that feel good vibe too, music and laughter.
at Gasa Gasa. Leading up to the show, we put together a small street team to promote by handing out flyers and posting on social media. As a way to incentivize people to come out, we cut down the entry fee from $8 to $5 if you RSVP'd using the link we sent out via social media and emails. On this RSVP, we made it a requirement that you put your email down as a way of collecting emails for Perrin, and he ended up receiving 80 emails in total. And around $30 was put into the show, and we ended up receiving 100 afterwards. And there was a huge turnout, almost 300 people in attendance throughout the night, and it was really exciting seeing the people in the crowd singing along to his songs.
Hi, I'm Gwendolyn. I work as the marketing chair for Intrepid. On our first meeting with Perrin, some of us had this idea that the stage name Heartbreak P, that he went by the stage name Heartbreak P because he would go around breaking girls' hearts. So, which later we learned that that was not the case. His stage name comes from a place of internal hurting, and with that idea, we played around with it, and so the idea of Heartbreak P is really interesting. We realized there's two sides to who he is. These two personas are represented in his music. We really try to stay true to his brand while playing with these two images. We approached everything from a minimalistic point of view to represent his brand and provide some doability. Graphics. Okay, so for graphics, I got in contact with my cousin, who's a very professional and very well experienced marketer based in Mexico. Yeah, we got in contact with her and we gave her our ideas and she drafted up some samples, and it was a very interesting process. So we also drafted up a work for hire contract, and that was quite interesting because she offered her work for free, but since it's a business, we still have to pay her. In terms of website, we really revamped it. His first website, it was just a picture of him with a link to Spotify, but with this new website, we really put him in a direction. I even worked on details on how it showed up on Google search, since his website would only show up in the second to third page of when you search his name on Google. In terms of social media, he's really good at marketing himself, so we didn't really post anything on his behalf. And on November 2nd, that was the Day of the Dead show, and on November 3rd, his website views spiked up to 128, and then since then it's kind of been steadily declining, but we're just waiting on a show to see those stats come up again.
Okay, so like we said, Perrin was very self-governed when it came to social media, but while being signed to our label, we saw the most growth on Instagram. And by the beginning, when we first signed him, he had almost 800 followers, and to this day today, he has 1,018. But aside from Instagram, he has 152 Twitter followers, 31 likes on his Facebook page, 402 SoundCloud followers, over 1,000 listens on SoundCloud and Spotify combined for his new single, and 67 YouTube views on his music video, Tinted Windows. Overall, it was a really fun experience working with Perrin, and we would really like to carry on improving his potential as an artist. In order to do so, there are a few things we want to work on. First, we will hire legal assistants because we did not have a legal guy, so we had to split the responsibility among the four of us, and we would like someone who has more, that it's like if their profession to do so, it would really help us out a lot. Secondly, we want to increase his fan base. And we will do this through more interaction on social media, and we also plan on creating merchandise for him to really promote his brand and his image, to put his name out there. And finally, we plan on working with him to promote his second upcoming album that he is currently in the process of working on. Thank you.
You guys can mix up the order.
Oh man, I'm ready. I'm in. I'm diving in head first. Is the name Intrepid Recordings or Intrepid Recording Studio?
Intrepid Recording Studio.
Okay, that implies a different sort of business to me. It sounds like you're running a recording studio, not a management company or a label. So that was just a little confusing off the top. I do like the email thing, with the pre-order to get the emails. Super clutch. I also like you working on the search engine optimization to pull his name up in the Google searches. I believe that was all I had. Oh, in terms of just the general presentation, it's a little on the sloppy side. Looking off of your phone, I realize we're in a technological age, but it's just not a great look when everybody's looking down at their phones. It turned me off a little bit. Okay, there you go. Good job. I'm so bad at this.
Okay, now when it came to the song, first of all, where did you record the song here? Who was your TA?
Cole.
Cole was? Did you guys produce the record? Who made the beat? Who?
AKA Pierre.
Somebody else did.
He goes here, artist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the artist made the beat.
A collaborator with the artist made the beat, so he's here, like the producer.
Okay. So, okay, all right. Yeah, I was just trying to figure out, at what point did you guys do anything, or were you just in the studio with him and just let him do his thing?
We were in the studio. There was like a few kind of recording problems. There was like this weird thing where like the mic was like recording at the wrong spot, so we were kind of like helping like sync that up, I guess. But we didn't necessarily contribute anything musically. No.
Okay, so the studio you had basically nothing to do with.
No, sir.
Okay, I could tell. And then also with once again, with the mix, the overall mix, the sound, sonics, that was not a good look. That's all I can tell you. That's all I have time to tell you. Did the 808 was all over the place, the vocals were wrong, the chorus was kind of spread all over the place. So it's things that can be fixed, but it's a detailed process. And that's where the producer comes in and really sitting down, spending that time to really cultivate that mix sonically and get that sound that really like it's supposed to sound. I'm not gonna take too long, but that was basically. Other than that, cool idea. I like the fact that you have minimal things and you tried to make the best of what you had, and I did appreciate that.
You mentioned the work for hire agreement with your cousin. Again, that's not about the money, it's about the right.
Yes.
So that the artist or whoever owns the right to that image. Not the fact that he didn't get paid. Even so, you still need to release.
Yeah, it was some misunderstanding between me and the legal person that we had at the time. We were still confused about it, but we drafted it up, and just to be sure, we included the payment in there.
So you did try to get some of the legal work done?
Yeah, we did end up getting the rights.
You got all the licenses, you got the work for hire for the video people, all that stuff?
Yeah.
And how did you distribute it? Through what platform? I forgot. Okay. And why did you pick them?
Because Parent already had like an album out before we signed him, and he was already using TuneCore before that.
I see. So, how much of the video did he do? Somebody shot it. You shot it?
Yeah, I shot the video.
He edited it?
He edited it.
Yes. Okay, well, again, one of the things that the purpose of the project, I think, is to get an emerging artist who doesn't have much happening and try to get something. Yeah. So when you take an artist that's already in business, usually they kind of produce the stuff, they end up doing most of the work, and you don't learn as much. But I hope this experience for you was not that way. I mean, I think what you did showed some effort, and I appreciate it.
My only comment is a creative comment. I agree with you, Pete. The production, of course, and that's a challenge for all you guys. You're trying to make a hit record with a limited budget, limited time. But I did think that the hook was actually very hooky. Like the part that he was singing. So the more you guys could work with him to get the production level up to the level of his creation, I think it would be great. And also, I would encourage him to do more singing too. I could tell that the singing versus just the rapping, that was a nice element to what he was doing.
So I agree with Rich that the hook was really catchy, and that with a bumped up mix, you could definitely make that something that's gonna be an earworm for people. The video, I think that I needed quicker shots. You know, we were just hanging out in one frame for a pretty long time. So just moving a little bit more quickly through the scenes and flipping back and forth. Maybe this is an old person comment, but these websites are not doing it for me. I look at artist websites all the time, both on mobile and on my Mac, and I didn't know what I was quite looking at there. You want to speak to that?
Yeah. On the web, that was just a homepage. It was kind of hard to like screenshot, but on the side you can see there's a tab that pulls up other web pages. Well, like it's the same website, but it shows like a link to shows, and like a link to an email list, and then another one for merch that we're working on.
So was it the mobile or the digital? Or
That was the
desktop
website. I don't know if there's like two little lines.
So that's what I see if I go to that web page. That's the home page?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then there's like, it pops up.
That's a lot of information to come upon when I hit enter and go to that website. That whole paragraph bio, I would love to know that, but let me discover it a little bit. Let me find like an about tab and click on that, as opposed to just hitting me with all that. It wasn't well executed.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your effort. Thank you.
All right. And now taking the stage, and beautifully attired in their Luke Zell t-shirts, we have Gold Beach Records, a group of 6, and their manager is Daniela de France.
Hi everyone, welcome. I'm Daniela de France, and I'm the manager of Gold Beach Records.
Caitlin Jazwicki, marketing.
Hi, I'm Kaylin Davis. I'm A&R Studio.
I'm Liam. I'm the legal rep.
I am Kaylin Arlen. I'm the creative rep.
My name is Maxine A. Coleman. I'm the AR over live performance. Gold Beach Records is a student-run company started in September of 2017 with the featured artist Luke Zell. As a student-run company, our goal is to discover and provide opportunities for an artist with little to no experience in the music industry. Not only are we obtaining knowledge on our individual roles, we are also learning music business through first-hand experience. Our artist, Luke Zell, is a 19-year-old jazz and pop singer, songwriter, and musician from Long Beach, California. He has been a good friend of mine before he joined Gold Beach Records, and I thought he would be a good artist because he is very enthusiastic and reliable. He was extremely willing to work hard and have fun from the start. Over the last few months, he has worked on his new single he dropped called Alone Time.
Our artist, Luke Zell, is mainly influenced by John Mayer and Bruno Mars. Just to give you a little insight on his music and what he likes to listen to. In the beginning of the semester, Luke played for us about 4 songs. 3 of those songs were really good, but the 4th song, A Long Time, really blew us away. So as our group decided, we just ran with it and made it our song to record with. Recording session went really well. Luke grasped all the ideas that we gave him, and it was really just a get in, get out situation. We didn't have no problems and no difficulties. We had Luke Zell on the acoustic guitar, we had Tristan Jones on the saxophone, and we had an electronic beat. A Long Time has been released on all major platforms, but we mostly advertised it on SoundCloud. We chose SoundCloud because we thought that was the best way to, reach our audience wider, and because you don't really need an account to get to SoundCloud, you just go and look at the song. On SoundCloud, we also have 106 plays, so that's pretty good in our eyes.
We used CD Baby for distribution. We thought this was the best choice because Luke was already familiar with it, and we used the Pro registration feature, which it allows you to register the song with the PRO through CD Baby, and we thought that worked great.
Luke's definitely a funny guy, and having known him before this project was definitely beneficial in that there's already a link, there's already a connection, there's already a vibe set, which made the whole process of developing the video pretty facilitated. He also showcased his talent and creativity by being very descriptive about the ideas about the plot of the video. And much like his personality, the video is very humorous. As far as the development of the video is concerned, he's very good at adjusting and adapting to different ideas that are presented. And he's very charismatic, and he has a great character, which means that he takes constructive criticism very well and very seriously. So yes, the video will be dropping on Friday. Oh, here's a little clip from the video.
Luke was already working with Ryan Fragg, our designer, to create his logo and typography. This typography is on every social media page and his website to brand his name. As Ryan said, this typography is a groovy design that reflects his music style. Luke chose this logo because that's what he wants to make people do, dance. We wanted people to remember the design, so we created shirts for the group and stickers to hand out at the show. This merchandise was also used to get people to listen to his new single. At first they were only for the group, but we did give one shirt away for free if they promoted Luke's new single. The shirts were a big success for us because we had a lot of extra people asking if they could buy one. For the website, we updated his photos, which we believe accomplished giving Luke's image a relaxed but jazzy feel to his music. Luke's website was already created on Squarespace, which we stuck with. On the website, we included his bio, contact information, and his new music to give it a more professional feel. His website has 68 views. For building up to the single, we did a countdown with pictures, released the single cover early, and created a GIF for attention to the release. This was posted on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, where his fan base had already been created before we started the project. Luke currently has 594 Instagram followers, which was his most successful part of social media. One thing I believe we did really well for Luke was that we continually promoted his music on social media, which was something he didn't know how to do before.
So for our budget, we started with $120, and we spent $114 total of that. Most of it went to promotional expenses like stickers or flyers. We also spent some for paying outside people with editing the video and to take photos.
All right, so we knew from the jump that Luke was a great live performer, so whether or not he could do a great show was not concerned. So the real questions were where to book the show and how to bring in the crowd. We picked the Willow because it's a well-known venue amongst our audience, which is Loyola students currently, and what better place is Loyola student artists to perform than the Willow. So we booked the show for November 15th, and we spent a week promoting the show on campus. A couple methods that were very useful were sliding posters through residence halls, Dana Center, passing digital copy of the poster through social media, and we just kept that on for a whole week, and we ended up with this. Can you play the show, please? Danielle to give you brief information about our email list.
So during Luke's show at the Willow, I walked around with the email list. I handed out stickers to people with Luke Zell on it to initiate signatures, and by the end of the show, we had 24 emails.
So moving forward as a record label and with Luke, we want to schedule a couple more live performances locally, and we're going to try and promote them in ways that we did before, posting about them on social media, using his website to promote, using flyers, and putting them around campus, also just telling people. And then we're trying to use this show to build up more of a fan base for Luke. We're definitely going to use the email list and keep pushing people at the live shows to sign up for that. And then for a long term look, we're trying to, or we see Luke eventually releasing a full studio album and going on a longer tour. And that's it. Thank you.
Just gonna jump in here, and normally I don't do this, but it happens at least 1/3 of the time that I get a Google link from a student with any kind of assignment that I then have to request permission. So in this case, it had a bad effect on y'all's presentation because we didn't get to see the video. I bet none of the 6 of you will ever forget to make sure that whoever gets that link is empowered to view the file. Also, the video should be up on YouTube, so we should be able to look at it on YouTube as a backup. But that didn't happen yet, so we didn't get to see this video. But the main point is, please, when you send these Google links, make sure that people can open them, because it happens all too often that they can't. Okay, Mia, go.
That is a huge bummer about the video. I was excited. It sounds like my kind of music. Presentation-wise, the shirt's on point. You guys and the first group who were in all black, your top marks for presentation. You misspelled Wednesday on the show poster, which is, I did get an English degree from Loyola, Wolfpack went what, so I'm a stickler for it. You also have realistic goals in terms of 1 to 2 future shows and helping them continue to promote. I enjoy the realistic nature of that, as opposed to saying, we're going to be with them for the next 4 years or something like that. So I appreciated that. I like those shirts. Again, good job.
Yeah. A, shirts are dope. B, can't really comment on the recording because I didn't hear the recording. So kind of a missed opportunity. So I'm kind of at a loss for words for that. But I'll say this about your marketing. And you made, I forgot who made the statement about you had shirts and people started asking you, like, could they buy them? My question is, did you sell them?
No.
Why not?
Take it off and sell it.
Right, why not? That's where your money coming in at. You had the perfect opportunity to make a profit, and you didn't. And that's the part that I was surprised at that. 'Cause I was like, oh, they have shirts. That's awesome. That means they probably sold some shirts. And then you say, yeah, people wanted to buy shirts. I'm like, oh, okay, great. You guys will make some money, and you didn't capitalize on it. That's definitely a missed opportunity. So you definitely want to tackle on the next one. Other than that, organization looks cool. Make sure there's a communication on stage between everybody so there's not a confusion as to what's going on, because we can tell. So, other than that, good job. Thank you.
The thing about that Google sharing and that link is that there's an anomaly in the system here that if you share a Google link using Gmail through Loynode with somebody who's on Gmail and not on Loynode Gmail, it comes up with that permission thing. So it's a problem. And I think they're trying to do something about it. But I'm not sure if that was your problem. I don't really know. But I would reiterate what they've said. I think you did a good job of presenting. And we rehearsed it and did a good job. I have one question about the video was a problem, song was a problem. So it's hard for us to really rate it. But my question is, how much money did you make? You spent your money. what did you make? You didn't make any money on the gig? At the Willow, you charged $5. You made $30 bucks?
Yeah, $30.
That was it?
Yeah.
So, using SoundCloud, of course, doesn't make you any money, but it might get you some awareness. So, so putting it on CD Baby makes kind of sense. I mean, is that what you did, CD Baby? Yeah. SoundCloud also is, you might link it embedded in your site. But anyway, I thought the presentation was good. I appreciate your effort.
He seems like a very talented kid. I wish I could have seen the video. I'm looking forward to hearing more of his music. Shirts are awesome. 2 comments. One, the photos of him in City Park, wherever that was, or Auburn Park, it looked a little bit like we were stumbling on someone peeing in the lake. Like, there was 2 different shots with the angle. That was my very first impression. So maybe let's look at that with a fresh set of eyes. But then, and the only other thing is, you guys are a student-run organization, not a student-ran organization. Student-run, not student-ran. And I liked when you interacted with the crowd and got us to applaud. The more you can interact with people and kind of get feedback, it's great. So that was a good presentation.
So thinking through the eyes of a teacher who may also have an English degree, there were 4 grammatical errors in your presentation, and as soon as I see that, now thinking through Kate the artist, if you send this presentation to someone else and they see that, that's a reflection on me and you guys as the artist that you represent. So like the bigger when Sony sees it, they're gonna be like, oh no, these people are illiterate. So I don't want you to think that, I don't want anybody to think you are. Just be careful with your grammar, because that gives a really nasty impression. I will say, if I am Kate the artist and I see y'all repping your artist, that makes me feel like you have such a family vibe, you are so invested in your people. I love that. That is super impressive, so well done on that. But you did miss the opportunity, like UP said, that merch is what sells. That's why you go on tour, to sell merch. The last quick thing is that I just, without, again, old person, if I'm gonna go see a show, if I see Luke's got a show, I'm like, who is this person? I go and click Google, Luke Zell, videos, and if that's the first thing that comes up, I'm pointing to the video that used to be there, that live thing, I have no idea what I'm about to hear other than like a cool jam bandy groove. So make sure what's on the first Google, optimize your searches for the video searches on YouTube so that I can see like the most pristine representation of who that is and why I should pay money to go see him. Nicely done though.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. I love t-shirts too, by the way. All right, come on down. By the way, as far as the whole English major thing goes, another great thing you can do is hire an English major. Hey. Pay them to do your grammar and your writing for you. They work for cheap usually, I've heard. So, okay. Next group, their artist is Grace Foster, also another student in the intro class, and their manager is Maggie Gauss. Take it away.
So good evening, everybody. We are Magazine Street Records. My name is Maggie, and I'm our manager. Our marketing team consists of Sydney and Sebastian. Our creative director is Hans, our legal representative is Lucas, and our head of A&R is Ben. So who are we and what's the inspiration behind our name? Well, if you look down Magazine Street, all the stores are different. No one front is the same as the next. So that's something we wanted to incorporate with building our company and finding our artists. Artists who have a unique story to tell and can be bold through their individualism. So the first artist we acquired was Grace Foster. Grace is an R&B indie artist from La Plaza, Louisiana, and some of her influences are Halsey, Banks, and Dave Barnes. So when we first heard Grace's sound on SoundCloud, we thought to meet with her. So when we sat down to meet with her, we instantly loved her. She was kind, she was genuine, she was down to earth, and she just was interesting. She's one of those people you just don't come across every day. And when you meet her, you just want to keep finding out more. And the best way to do that is through her music. She's a storyteller. So more about her music, Ben's going to talk.
So when we first heard the song that she wanted to record, it was produced in Logic with entirely electronic instruments. We really liked this version, but we wanted to try one with live instruments instead. So going into practice, we threw in a bass, a rhythm guitar, lead guitar, and some drums. And we really liked how it turned out, so we wanted to run with it. So going into the studio, we were paired with Samwise as our engineer, who turned out to be really great, kept the vibe light and efficient. During the session, we were talking to Grace a little bit about her lyrics and found out they were inspired by the movie Inception. So we wanted to run with this idea with cover art as well, and talk more about this as Hans, our creator.
Yeah, so when I sat down with Grace, we both immediately decided that we wanted this video to be as dreamlike as possible. And we achieved that by using smooth transitions, slow motion, and also filming in very visually pleasing locations like the park. And we also thought it was a great opportunity to put our live performance into the video. And that kind of acted as the reality to the rest of the video, which looked like a dream. So we're going to show you a little bit of that video, and then I'm going to hand it over to Sydney, who's going to talk about some marketing.
How'd you put the blame on me? How'd you put the blame on me? This is just a game, I see. Thought it was your love, baby. Thought that I could trust, baby. How'd you put the blame on me? How'd you put the blame on me? This is just a game, I see. Thought it was your love, baby. Thought that I could trust. Why did you put these ideas in my head?
Our first goal with Grace was to create her brand, make her more recognizable. As soon as we met her, we realized she was very open-minded. She wanted to remain who she was, but also turn into somewhat of a product that we could sell. The way she's able to do this is through her stage name, Grace Foster. Her whole life, her parents would tell her, remember who you are. Grace is the meaning of her real name, and Foster is a synonym to serve, which is what she believes she's here to do. We sat down with Grace together to create her image. Grace was very into the minimalistic look, so she wanted her visuals, like her website, to be very simplistic. Grace was also never much of a diva, and she's very humble, which is great, but made it a little bit more of a challenge when it comes to creating a product that we could sell. But in the end, she did find her style. We also took into consideration who her influences were growing up and which records she'd want next to hers in a record store. With her social media, we basically started from scratch. She had Twitter and SoundCloud, but she didn't use her Twitter to promote her music, so we decided to focus mainly on Instagram because that's where we saw the most growth. We also did some research to figure out the best times of the week and best times of the day to post on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We also followed a lot of the musicians at Loyola because we thought one of the best ways to gain support is to give support. With her website, we chose Bandzoogle. We wanted her website to match like the way she wanted to be as an artist, very simple, so we had her choose one color. And she chose baby blue, making her color scheme baby blue, black, and white. Very simple, very easy on the eyes. And since we've uploaded her website, we've had 68 page views, and now I'm going to turn it over to Maggie to talk more about live show promotion.
Okay, so Grace is a freshman in a music industry program where hundreds of students are competing for the same thing, which is exposure. So in planning the promotion for her live show and her new song, we wanted her presence at Forum to be something that makes her stand out from the rest of the people lined up every week. So we thought, what's something everybody in college loves? Free food. What food does everybody love? Pizza. We designed a contest for Grace to ask the audience at Forum to either like, share, favor, or retweet her new song on any social media platform they choose, and in return she would deliver a fresh hot pizza to them at Next Forum. So when Next Forum came around, we were handing out water bottles with all the information about Grace's show to everybody walking in. So it would give the audience something to talk about as Grace is delivering her pizza and promoting her show. People are connecting what's in their hands to what Grace is saying on stage. So Grace's live show is a really big success, and I'm going to hand it over to Sebastian to talk about it.
Hello, my name is Sebastian Duzin. I'm also a part of the marketing team. And before the show, we made sure to promote the show and promote Grace as much as possible. So we posted all about it all over her social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We also printed something like 400 flyers, put them up all around the school. We tried to make it known that she would be playing. And the show that she played at was at the Willows, called Queens of R&B, and it showcased a couple of different female R&B artists. And we thought this would be a great opportunity for Grace because each artist would be bringing their own crowd, and this would be the perfect opportunity for Grace to reach out to new audiences. So, we had to capitalize on this opportunity. We also streamed this live on Facebook. We got about 84 views. And so during the show, Grace decided to open up with her new single, Ideas. Started off slow, just guitar and vocals. There's about 30-something people in the audience. But as soon as the band came in with the chorus, I kid you not, I was there on stage. Everybody was dancing along. Everyone loved the music. Even the bartenders were into it. And all in all, it was a very good turnout. After the show, we handed out stickers to people. And we also got an extra 10 emails on our email list, which we sent all of those people a link to the music video in order to further promote Grace's single. And we also did make money off of this live show, which Maggie will talk more about along with our finances.
So Grace did gain $30 from performing at the Willow, and with our $120 budget for the semester, most of our expenses went towards copyright for her song, marketing, subscriptions to Bandzoogle, DistroKid, and paying a student to do her cover art for her new single. So the future for Grace Foster. We have a 3-year plan for Grace to attain a solid fan base for success. Year 1, she continues gaining her fan base on our campus, Tulane's campus, and locally in New Orleans by performing live constantly at numerous venues, also making appearances in other southern cities we can drive to close by, and coming out with a new album. Year 2, after gaining a local fan base, we're going to get her on a tour in the South to perform her new album, and going back to those cities we've been to and going to new cities we haven't reached yet. Year 3, we get her on another tour, but this time in the Northeast to gain a newer and bigger region of fans. So with our $250,000 investment, we plan on dividing the money this way. $5,000 for merchandise, $30,000 for studio costs for her new album, $60,000 for each tour, $7,000 for promotional expenses, and $88,000 for music video expenses. So all in all, this was a really great process, and we're really honored to work with Grace and had a lot of fun together, so thank you for your time.
You lost the mic.
All right, I'm gonna start talking loudly then. There we go. So, thank you for being the first team that I can see all of the mobile views and all of the social media views in one pane, and I get it. It makes sense. That was awesomely done. I hear a team that believes in this artist, which is fantastic. This is something that is like palpable when you're starting to think creatively outside the box of the pizza marketing and getting people involved. The whole give to get thing, I love that. You're establishing a value of the artist and how that artist values her career and the career of her surrounding musicians. That's fantastic. I would just say that the only issue, well, congratulations on making money, first of all. The only issue that I heard was just in the mix a little bit, and that was like production TA issue. It just wasn't as crisp as I would have liked it to represent how awesome that music sounds. So there's just something to tighten up a little bit. The last thing I will say is that I would like for your team to have your artist talk to the coordinator of the Popular Commercial Music degree program so that maybe she could switch majors. That's it.
Definitely, I agree.
That was great. I love the pizza idea. That's really fun. So yeah, I just want to say 2 quick things. I can tell that you love your artist. I also know and really, really like this artist from another class. She writes tons of incredible hooks very quickly. The song, the particular constructive criticism is that the vocal sounded like an uncomped first or second take vocal. You needed multiple takes. You needed to comp that lead vocal, especially the chorus. It needed a lot more production and editing to make it the most flattering. So, but the song is great, as all of hers are.
You know, that was a very crisp presentation that y'all did. Very impressive about in every way, most comprehensive that I've seen. You didn't really make money. You made $30 on the gig, and you invested $100, but you still had a revenue flow. You know, net revenue, but you did make some money, so that's good. I thought the branding was good. Obviously, she's an excellent artist, and obviously, it seems to me, I mean, you could have had it could have been a catastrophe. It looked like it was a very friendly and I mean, the last shot pictures were just, just really nice. And the whole presentation I thought was really first rate. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I mean, I can just piggyback off of them. I was impressed by a lot of things. when it comes to the studio and the sound quality and things like that, once again, I'll piggyback off of what they said, but at the same time, it still sounded good. I mean, it still sounded good. And if I could just give a producer's critique, I would say when she goes into certain parts on the record, there should be some backgrounds underneath. Something that it would just take it to a whole entire other level. If those backgrounds came out, some subtle oohs, something to play with. Oh, yeah, let me sing it for you. But other than that, it was a great presentation. The fact, I mean, everything. Pizza, everything.
Thanks so much.
Good job.
I agree with everybody. Maggie, is that your name?
Yes.
Fantastic stage presence.
Thank you so
You
much.
had me from jump.
Thank you.
Really engaging, very
you so much.
personable. I'm a fan. I will say that you mentioned something about that she didn't use her Twitter for promotion, to promote her shows.
Not originally, no. Yeah.
Not originally.
Not-
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
no, we do now, but not originally.
Oh, okay. I that wasn't made clear. I was gonna say you gotta tell her to do that. I also thought the website was a little boring for my taste. If she likes baby blue, then make that more the prominent color with a lot of black, with just splashes of baby blue. I'm a fan of baby blue. Show me more. Yeah. The single art was a little difficult for me to read. It took me a second to see ideas. But other than that, I thought the song was really cool. Yeah, it could have been cleaner, but I think it was probably one of the better ones we've heard. So, congrats.
Thank you. Thank you guys.
Alrighty. Group 6 of the evening coming down. You guys can come on down. And this group also lost a member over the course of the semester. Dwayne Anthony is now part of the group. So they're a fivesome, and they took on the A&R tour among the rest of them. And you want to put that in presentation mode, I would think. Down at the bottom. The little thing in there. There we go. All right. Ready, Grace? Utopia Productions, Grace Mobies.
Hello, my name is Grace Mobies. I'm the manager of Utopia Productions. Our artist is Mickey Hayes. So, who is Utopia Productions? Our goal as a group is to promote and distribute music in an artistic and accessible way. Now I'll turn it over to Mike, our A&R rep, to introduce our artist.
How's it going? I'm Mike. Mickey Hayes is a guitar virtuoso from St. Louis, Missouri. Pulls influences from folk and rock acts from the 60s and 70s. Jerry Garcia, Jimi Hendrix, Bob Dylan. Also pulls some of his style from some jazz players like Pat Metheny, Julian Lage. But personally, Mickey Hayes is one of my best friends here at Loyola. I used to live with him. I've seen him go through his songwriting process and take just noodling around with the guitar and work that into these full, complex, emotional jazz pieces. And I felt that if we didn't get his music out to the world, everybody would really be missing out on something very, very special. And really the only problem that he's had is marketing his music and putting it out. And that's exactly what we're here for. So I figured he'd be a perfect fit. So onto the song. The song is called Set Rise Sun. The recording of the song went fantastic. The band that he assembled was awesome, really well rehearsed. Adam Shrubby on keys, Marius Toussaint, Nabil McKeep on saxophone, Mason Fryer on bass, Carl Tietz on drums. Everything went smoothly, they were well rehearsed. It only took three takes to get the songs recorded. The only problem that I had was I wasn't super satisfied with the mix. But what do you get? And I will pass over to Adam to talk about the music video.
What's up, y'all? I'm Adam. I took care of handling the whole music video, so I'm going to tell y'all a little bit how that process went. When I first talked to Mickey, he already had an idea of how he wanted the music video to go. He wanted to show like a contrast between nature life and city life, which really went well with his song because the first half of it's really slow paced, and then it picks up speed in the second half and moves to the city. And being from New Orleans, I grew up here my whole life, so I've always kind of known a bunch of spots that I personally thought would kind of be cool to shoot music videos in, and like they happen to work really well with what he wanted to do with his video. And so the music video was shot and edited by a film major here. His name's Chris. We did it in 2 days. On the first day, we went to an area of City Park off of Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Got most of the nature shots there, and then we went on to the lakefront, where we shot like a time lapse of the lake overlooking the Causeway Bridge and everything. It was really cool. And the second day, we went to French Quarter, got some shots through the streets in there, up and down Canal Street, streetcars, and along the Riverwalk and the river and everything. And yeah, that's about it. Everyone had a really good time. We kind of got to socialize and everything throughout the whole process. And yeah, here's the video.
So for the live show, once we get pulled up on the PowerPoint here, for the live show, Mickey was able to book a headlining gig down the street at Gasa Gasa. Was able to pull in about 55 people on October 24th. It was a Tuesday night. He was able to book a friend of his from St. Louis, a rapper named Wes Raglan, and the opening act was a Loyola band here named Tibetan Peace Pie. Altogether, they grossed about $275. Mickey is playing again tonight at Gasa. If anybody's interested, he's opening up for Sean Hobbs. It's going to be great. He's also doing a very intimate acoustic performance, which is by invite only. So if you want to attend that, come to me after the presentation. I'm going to pass it to Summer now and talk about the market.
As head of marketing, it was really important for me to keep the vision that Mickey wanted to portray as an artist. Having said that, Mickey didn't really have a big social media presence to begin with. He had a SoundCloud and an Instagram page. So it was up to me to make a Facebook, a website, and a business email address that he could use for gigs and business inquiries and a MailChimp. So here we have Mickey's Facebook page, which currently has 23 likes, and we have his Instagram page that started out as his personal page, and it has about 335 followers. So when I had it under my control, I was posting photos about the live show and about the music video and about upcoming events, very different than what he was posting before, less personal and intimate with friends and more business oriented, advertising and trying to get clicks and likes and views like that. For his website, we used Squarespace, which is something that I have a lot of faith in. It's great for artists and for merchandise when you transition over to that side. To keep the theme of the overall website, we chose to do something more dark and intimate and personal, which reflected Mickey as an artist, kind of like a dark, mysterious, instrumental artist. And here we have it's a scrolling website, so we had two of the pages there.
the next one now. So this is basic analytics for the website as of a couple days ago. It had 19 views, and now it has 78 views today when I checked. All right, so having said that Mickey already had a SoundCloud, we made the conscious decision to not release his new song on SoundCloud. We looked at SoundCloud more of a marketing and, you know, a social media platform. So we wanted his fans to look on his SoundCloud, but to hear his new song, we wanted fans to stream it on, you know, Spotify, things like that, and then purchase it on Google Play Music and Apple Music. And here we have his MailChimp, which has now about 21 emails. And now we go over to Skiles for the legal.
Hello everyone, I'm Skiles Kelly, the legal representative of Utopia Productions. Just going to touch on some of the documents we have between Mickey. The recording agreement, this contract, along with the talent release form, explained the compensation Mickey will receive for the songs he releases and the rights that Utopia Productions has for the songs. The publishing agreement is the contract that represents the transfer of musical composition copyright in the exchange for services provided by the publishing company. And the musician's release form, which is it was for the musicians that helped Mickey out in the song, outlined the details about work for hire and royalties that the any outside musicians may have been receiving. And I'm gonna give it to Grace.
So for our budget, we started out with $100 invested by all members. Of this, we spent $88. $33 of this went to purchasing the website domain, $10 went to distributing our music through TuneCore, and $45 went to promotional material. This left us with $12 under budget. So for Utopia Productions, we hope to see more shows, more profit, and more marketing for Mickey.
And over the next 6 calendar months, we have projections for social media. Everyone can see the graph. Just an example, you know, probably the biggest would be Spotify with 11 plays now, and we're hoping for about 300, website views up to 200, Facebook up to 100, and live show attendance, which was very important. You know, we put money into the foundation of Mickey, and we hope to see a return in the next 6 months with live show attendees, 55 going to about 200. Back to Grace.
So we expect Mickey to gain more popularity and increase its online presence in the future due to our marketing and promoting. Thank you for your time.
That was you followed you followed a tough act and you did a great job. It was a very comprehensive presentation. Just the way you went through all the deliverables, it was quickly paced, and the data I thought was great. The graphics were good. The statistics have great numbers, but at least you made the effort and it looked good and it seemed like a convivial group. So thank you very much for your work.
Thank you.
I'm good.
After you, sir.
All right. My only critique, really, aside from everything else you guys did, I think was really good, is that I had no idea who Mickey Hayes was and what he did until I think you mentioned it in the comment. You said he's an instrumental artist. Up until that point, I was like, who is this guy? What does he do? And then we saw the video. I was like, what was the point of that? You know, I didn't hear. I didn't know what was going on. What was the point or the purpose of the video? It was a beautiful video, but I didn't know what I was listening for. I'm like, Mickey Hayes, I was expecting, is it a singer? Is it a tap dancer? What? You know? So that was the biggest thing. I think if you focus on anything, you need to let the public know what they're listening for. And if he's a guitarist, and is he, like, I still really have no idea as to what he does. So, I don't know. In the song I heard, did he play the guitar? Did he play every instrument? What happened? So, I think that's something that needs to be known. I kept seeing pictures of guitars, but I didn't know if that was it, or was it more? Because you said instrumentalist. So, that's, if he is an instrumentalist and he played everything, and every instrument, then I think that's something that needs to be shown also. because that's a great talent. So that's just so you get an idea. You need to know what the artist is doing. So the song sounded great from what I heard.
Let me say something about that. But the thing is, you only played the first 8 artists, so only one person that you never even got before. So if you play a little bit more of the video of the song, it might be more helpful. It could have solved that problem. But I think it's a good point. Anyway.
Well, the full 8-minute song is available there.
Is it 8 minutes?
8 minutes?
Wow.
8 minutes.
The
We cut it down to
video-
5 for the video.
Is it on me?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that sort of goes back to what Kate was saying earlier about choosing a very specific point of the video to show us, to give us an idea. Was it a conscious decision to never show his face? Ah, interesting.
Intriguing.
Okay.
Part of the mystery.
It's
Part of the mystery.
Ah, okay. I didn't pick up on that. I mean, I saw that we didn't see his face, but I didn't know if it was because of a time constraint or something like that.
He's in witness protection.
This shit. Yeah, to be honest, I was kind of lukewarm on the whole thing. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I kept waiting for something else to happen, and it didn't really. I will say a note about the Instagram, keeping it professional. I find that it's good to maintain a balance between personal and professional. When I started out on Twitter, I was very opposed to it. So it was 100% business, and I got a lot of flack for it, so I started adding personal stuff, and I found that I had a lot more engagement based on, branching out a little bit and letting people know me. Maybe he doesn't have to show his face, but, what did he eat today? I don't know. I'm bad at social media. And this, but.
Thanks, you guys.
We have a couple more comments. I just want to say the video quality, like whatever camera you used and whoever was shooting it looked like a cut above. So that I wanted to see the rest of it. But I felt like the song seemed more like a city setting type of a song, like a Night in the Town, Ocean's 11 type of thing. And then so it was a little bit weird to be out like in an outdoor setting. It seemed different. But I thought the video looked promising, and then I also liked your invite-only content idea. That's clever.
That's this Friday, by the way. Anybody that wants to come to that.
Kudos. You were thorough, and I love when you take care of all the boxes and tick them all off. I will say, Mike, you really strike me as the only one who is like jacked about this artist. And I want my team to be jacked about me as an artist. So just noting enthusiasm level, because you're thorough and prepared, but you still gotta get me pumped up if I'm about to buy whatever you're selling. And again, I'm just gonna say be really specific. Think about my attention span and how you're gonna grab my attention with like 7 seconds of music. It wasn't that like dreamy little interlude and then all of a sudden two little chords. Okay.
To be fair, we did have a certain part of the video picked up. We had some technical difficulties, so we kind of just had to go somewhere.
Good. Yeah. And I will say, I knew it was a guitarist. And you can say it's an instrumentalist. That means it's not a vocalist. That's fine. I knew that. Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you.
All right, come on down. By the way, Michael, one note from me. It's Pat Metheny, not Pat Metheny. He's one of my personal faves, too. We have done 6, and we have 6 to go, so this is the halfway point right here. Now, I had a student email me about 2 hours before the presentations began, and they said, Dr. Lowe, I gotta get up early for something. Can I leave early? There are certain emails as professor that it's best to just not reply to, so don't think about leaving early. People, we have some great presentations. Some of the very best are in the last few, and so please hang with us to the bitter end. Faculty members, keep your remarks pointed and concise and brilliant. And
those emails to me, I'll handle those.
And we are on to, well, you saw him a minute ago as artist. Now you're seeing him as manager, upper echelon entertainment. Manager Perrin Camino.
Thank you, Lo. Hello, my name is Perrin Colleen, and I'm the manager for Upper Echelon Entertainment. We represent the artist Brenna Nicole. And here we have Jenna. Jenna's marketing. We have A&R, who's Roxy. Alan, the creative director. And Cole, our legal guy. For our mission statement, we spent actually a lot of time. We did a couple revisions on this. And we decided on using strive to create an environment where the team and artists move forward with trust. Now there's a key word here I wanted to highlight, and that key word is trust. We wanted to use this in order to make sure that the work is done in both the interest of the group and the artist together.
Thank you, Perrin. So who is Brenna? Well, she's a 19-year-old singer-songwriter from California who has a very marketable and endearing persona. Above is the logo we designed for her, and it's a really simple design that really embodies her music. And that can be related to that of Kehlani and Demi Lovato and so on. So we chose Brenna because she's a talented, easygoing artist. She gave us her trust to brand her, and but honestly, we believed in her from the start. So before working with her, her image and personal brand was really unpolished. So after doing 2 photo shoots, we knew that we wanted her style to give off a sassy yet sweet vibe, to not only show off her badass quality, but also her fun bubbly side. Bubbly, excuse me.
Thank you, Roxy. So after working on her image, we focused on the song. And I had a bunch of instrumentals that I own the rights to that I had paid for from a friend in Milwaukee who produces. And so I went over all of them with Brenna, and she actually really liked one of them. And so we sat down and she wrote the song called Reality. Now Reality is about moving on while you're still in love, and kind of the back and forth with that.
Alright, thanks Perrin. So now we're going to show you our visual representation of reality.
Laptop down.
Should we be hearing something?
Yeah.
Press play. Should we be hearing something, Lexi?
There's no fast ones in the video.
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Sounds all the way up.
It always it looks like that when it's HDMI.
Okay.
I don't know, we'll see when they try to reach it. Nope. Okay, this won't count against your time.
Try another video, see if it's. Yeah, let's find out Lady Gaga.
Did the sound settings in the main settings thing?
We can maybe try and make another laptop.
video, we were trying to capture the vibe of this song, so we thought we'd look for locations that had varying color schemes, so to fit like the love you, hate you vibe of the song. So these areas range from like a bright red staircase all the way to like just a plain gray roof. So yeah, we also tried to get her clothes to match this color contrast, so we had wore black and white for most of the video. And as far as filming goes, I'm not a very experienced filmmaker, but since we didn't have enough time to find someone to do the filming, I had to do most of the filming myself on our friend's camera. But I was able to send the footage over to my friend, Christopher Clark, and he edited the video for free for us, so I thought he did a pretty good job with that.
So we decided to register Brenna with BMI because unlike ASCAP, BMI's artist registration is free, and unlike CSAC, there's no invitation required to join. That was key, otherwise we wouldn't really want to front $50 or wait until we're popular enough to get an invitation. So for our distribution, we decided to utilize DistroKid, as Perrin actually has experience with both TuneCore and DistroKid. And upon examination and looking at both of them, we decided that DistroKid was the better option for this project in particular. Here's Jeff.
Thanks, Cole. Well, from the beginning, we knew that we wanted to give Brenna a badass, sassy, yet sweet vibe with her marketing. So to do this, we decided to focus on the colors black, red, and white. You can see these colors all throughout her logo, which is used in her pin, her social media, and her website. For her marketing, we used the 3 big social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. For Instagram, Brenna already had an established Instagram page with almost 1,000 followers, so we decided to use the pre-existing presence instead of creating a new one. For Twitter and Facebook, we did not have this luxury, unfortunately, so we had to start from the ground up. Our Twitter page now has 17 followers that it has gained since its creation at the very beginning of October, and is growing every day. This is the home page of her website. This is the smiling face that greets you as soon as you go to her website. For the website, we went with very clean cut lines, and again, the colors red, white, and black, which follows with her marketing scheme very well. We decided to use Weebly because both Perrin and I had experience using it in the past, and in our experience, it wasn't too expensive, and came out with a great result like this. This is just a chart that briefly shows the page views that we've had. We've been lucky enough to have really great success with the website. We've had over 100 unique visitors visit the website and over 200 unique visitors or unique page views since the website's creation. For our budget, we each put in $25 of our own money for a total of $125. You can see in the pie chart how this was broken up. Most of our money ended up going to the pins that we then gave away at our show, which I'll talk a little bit about more later. But we ended up going $1 over our budget with all the costs, but I think we'll just cut our losses on that one.
Thanks, Jenna. So for the live show, we had talked to Brenna, who actually knew another artist named G, who's having a show in Sash Rose December 1st. And we collectively wanted to make the show bigger with 3 girls, G, Brenna, and Danny. It had a pretty great turnout. Around 30 people came out to support the girls and, grew into the music. She had a great stage presence, and she connected with the people that she was performing with, and she sang a mixture of original and covers, a total of 6 songs, and she did a fantastic job. Back to you.
Thank you, Roxy. For our email list, we had used MailChimp to create an email list for Brenna Nicole. Before our live show, she had about 12 subscribers, not too bad. But at the live show, I went around with my laptop and personally asked each member of the audience if they would give me their email, and in return, I would give them a free Brenna Nicole pin with her logo on it. I had 14 people say yes, and so that night we more than doubled our subscriber list. And so we ended up having 26 total subscribers on our email list, which I personally am very proud
because of the relative success of the live performance, in which we doubled Brenna's email list, distributed talkies, and introduced her as an artist to the Loyola community, I would definitely say the live show was one of our strengths in regard to the entire progress. Another strength we showed as a group was branding. Because Brenna was a new artist when we found her, she was incredibly easy to work with and mold. This allowed us to take her initial feel and vibe and refine it into a more cohesive brand that is both familiar yet distinct. The resulting aesthetic is incredibly easy to apply to both the production of the video and the music itself. As a group, I would say our greatest strength would probably be the ability to work together, and really, we didn't have very much disagreement. We came to conclusions together, we had a similar vision for the project, and we worked very well together. That being said, we did have some hardship. We had some difficulties with finding time to meet and finding time to record our music video, particularly, because as a result, we had to we faced logistical issues regarding the video, such as finding a cameraman, scheduling conflicts, and lighting. Also, the live show had a decent turnout, and we didn't make very much money from the show. In fact, we didn't make it at all. This is due to the fact that we booked Brenna at Satchmo's. There was a $5 suggested donation, but no one paid this. We were focused more on introducing Brenna to the artistic community of Loyola, giving her a live experience and growing her brand in the show.
Thank you, Cole. Okay, so moving forward, what are we gonna do? So first off, when we get back from the break, we're planning on recording an EP with her. We're also probably gonna retrack Reality, because I think we could do it better. And then in addition to that, we're going to start playing more shows just around to build the local buzz. And once the local buzz is built, we'll start doing small touring, and with that, drop the next project. Thank you for your time.
Artist branding, I expected maybe it was all of the Sarah Bareilles waitress promos that I've seen lately, but like her diner, I think that's at Peaches, right?
Yeah.
That and like outside the costume shop, it gave me the expectation not of what I heard in the music. Both were great, it just set me up for something, maybe that's just because I'm like a one-trick pony, but like it set me up for something that wasn't representative between the two of them. You guys, it seems like you're all behind her. I just don't feel the enthusiasm. I do want to give Jenna some props. Like your energy was right there. You know, we luckily got or we were blessed with. You know, you said that a couple of times, and that shows me that you're in it for the artist, right? You're not in it for you. You're in it to make sure that artist gets out there. So that's definitely what I want to hear. And then who was the video person? Sorry. Just as a videographer, if you see her do the same mannerism over and over again, the scenes start to blend together. So she does the head thing, and that's cool to do once. But like, as a videographer, I would say like, hey, mix it up. Let's get you doing a couple of different poses, just to like, again, that visual clip. Give me something new every 6.5 seconds, kind of thing.
I'll just quickly jump. I like the location for the photo shoot, the still photos, the soda fountain, and it's great. It's good. The video, I would avoid things like shooting her in front of air conditioners. You know, I'm like, wait, why is she sitting in front of these two air conditioners? You know, and so it's one of those things, like the rooftop shot works better if you've got like golden hour light at like sunset or something's going on. It was a little too literal, like she's standing on the roof. Is she fixing the roof? You know. So, but otherwise, I wish I could see more of the video so I could have gotten a sense of the song. I didn't get to like the hook really, but she seems cool and like she's got good charisma.
I thought you covered all the deliverables well, and you organized more or less in your approach. Bad luck in the video, not a big deal. Could have shown any more of the website. I saw the page. I wasn't even sure what was actually on it, but it looked good. So good. You know, the fact that you made an effort to do the video and undertook to do something you had no idea how to do I thought you did a good job, so I appreciate your effort.
Quick thing, you got the song from a friend of yours, right? I'm assuming you had a 2-track, so it's left and right.
Yeah.
Okay, I can tell it sounded like a producer's mix.
Yeah.
It didn't sound like it was mixed in the studio properly. So in terms of the music, in terms of her voice, she's watching tone. Tone was a little up and down, which could be corrected if you spend more time and she just gets more comfortable as she sings it. Other than that, great presentation. That was good.
Rich stole my line by the air conditioner. Damn. Overall, really good presentation. You hit all the marks. I know Brenna as a vocalist, and she's better than that track. So I would definitely do it again. And if you're gonna do the video again, which I recommend you doing, if you're not comfortable shooting it, if you do have to shoot it for budgetary reasons, just try and mix it up. Do some handheld with some static shots, give a little more depth, avoid air conditioners. But overall, yes, good job. Ooh, quick note, I know you're a rapper, but it's a pet peeve of mine when you hold the mic like this, because you mess everything up, and we have a harder time understanding what you're saying. You also run the risk of feedback in a live setting. Thank you, good night.
Yeah, you stole my other comment. That was my other comment. I didn't want to say 2 negative things, but yeah.
Hey, there's a technique to doing that. I do the technique.
You can do the EQ with your hand.
Nah, I do it like this. It's a whole other situation.
Oh, it's right, so you still get it.
I still get it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
If anyone wants a free Brian Nicole pin, please hit me up. I got them. I got the Thank you.
Yeah, I want a pin. Give me a pin.
I want one too, Jen. All right, next up, we have a group that the music is going to be different than anything you've heard. And I'm just going to leave it at that. This is Null and Void Entertainment, manager Gracie Glorioso.
All right, so hey everyone, I'm Gracie Glorioso. I am the manager of this industry group and a proud member of Null and Void Entertainment, along with the rest of these lovely people up here, and their names are on the slide. So before we get too far into the presentation, I want to start off by telling you guys a little bit about our company. So before we even started looking for an artist, we had to know what we wanted from this project and what our goals were. So once we figured that out, we could look for an artist that we feel accurately represented our mission statement and shared a similar goal. So we feel like our mission statement is a pretty clear statement. We aim to work closely with our artists and promote their personal growth, as well as show the world what new artists have to offer. So after a little bit of searching, we found Jack Riley, and I'll pass it off to Carson to tell you a little bit more about our artist.
Thanks, Gracie. I'm Carson Matter. I'm the A&R position for Null and Void Entertainment. First, I'll tell you all a little bit about our artist, Jack Riley, and his band, Wet Tape. While searching for artists, we wanted to pick someone whose music was very raw and passionate. When we came across Jack and his demos, we knew right then and there that this talent was not something to be overlooked. The way he can manipulate those 6 strings into plethoras of sounds and styles make him stand out brightly. We knew from the beginning that our group wanted a punk rock artist, and Jack and his band Wet Tape were the perfect choice. Wet Tape includes Jack Riley on lead guitar and vocals, Jack Wong on bass, and Gabe Borges on drums. Speaking of their music, we could not be happier with the song the band has released entitled Confederate Pastimes. Everything from the thrashing guitars to the thundering and energetic bass and drums calls back to classic eras of punk rock. During the recording process, we wanted the band to have complete creative control over what they wanted to put out, something we as a group strive to give to our artists. Once the song was complete, we knew we had to get it out there to the public so listeners could catch a quick dose of energetic punk rock in their daily shuffles, which is why we used TuneCore to release the song on all platforms. On top of an outstanding song, we also wanted an outstanding logo. We chose this final design because we wanted something grungy and rough that would fit Wet Tape's sound. Now I'll pass it on to Emily to tell you all about the music video.
Hi, so I'm going to show you a quick snippet of the video I directed.
I sat down with Jack and I asked him how he wanted the audience to feel initially, like when they saw the video. And the first thing that came to his mind was uncomfortable. And we both agreed that there hasn't been enough art produced in recent years that have made people like uncomfortable or allowed them to like think critically about it. So we really wanted them to focus on the lyrics, but also have something aesthetically pleasing to look at while the song was playing. I chose to shoot off of Chapatulas in an abandoned area along the Mississippi River. And in the video, Jack Riley and Dominic Frost are essentially mirrors of each other. Dominic is wearing the suit, who is the corporate drone who is unconscious to the world around him, who hates his life. And Jack, being himself, is representing him, his free-spirited youth with radical ideas around the world. And now I'm gonna talk to you about the budget. So our total budget, we had $100. We each put in $20 ourselves. We spent $10 on TuneCore, $20 for our logo, and most of our money did go to our website. We spent $40, so $10 a month. And it came out to be $30 under budget. It was a personal choice of ours not to do merchandise, just because we didn't know where the band was gonna go from here, and we wanted to like save the money in case they did go along further in the way and get new designs and stuff like that. So now I'm gonna pass it off to Zach.
Yeah, so I was in charge of marketing for our group, and for Wet Tape, we really wanted to give off a very powerful visual aesthetic to the group. So starting off with our website, which is down there in the right bottom corner, we decided to use a lot of grainy and lo-fi aesthetics within the website to give it kind of that punk rock, nerdy type feel. And we think we did a really great job with the website, especially because it matches exactly how the band sounds, as Dr. Lowe would say. And we were also very proud of the website views, because we received about 92 views, and I believe it's at 100 now, and it's still increasing. And for our mailing list, we decided to use MailChimp, mainly because it was the most quick and easy to use, and it really allowed us to get out both the music video and the song very quickly and in easy fashion. And for our social media, since we were very successful with the website, we wanted it to play off of the website, so we continued to use grainy imaging and lo-fi aesthetics, but we were also able to broaden our following using hashtags. And even though we only received about 25 to 30 followers, we were very proud of this, mainly because we had to start from scratch, and we think we delivered the message of Wet Tape very clearly on the website and on the social media. I'm going to pass it over to Gracie to let you talk about the live show.
Yeah, so for the live show, we thought that a house party would be a good fit for Wet Tape. We did book them for the Sleaze album release party, so thanks to Sleaze for having us. But we didn't charge for tickets, which we will definitely change in the future. But we did feel like it was a great place to have a show because of the specific market for their genre of music. So we thought that the show turned out to be pretty good. The turnout was over 100 people, and we did find a way to get emails through that. We collected around 25 emails, and we incentivized it to make it easier to get them. So we have a list of everyone that gave us their email, and from that list, the next Wet Tape show that they go to, they'll get $2 off their ticket. So there was no negative way to, or no negative effects of signing up for the email list. So yeah, we thought that the show was pretty good, like more of a promotion technique to get their name out there, especially because a lot of Sleaze fans were willing to listen to Wet Tape's music and pretty much enjoyed it. A lot of the crowd was feeling it, and we thought it was pretty successful. So now I'll pass it off to Five to talk about the strengths and weaknesses of our group.
Hello, well, we created Null and Void Entertainment. We thought one of our strong points was creative ideas. As a group, we were able to come together and just let the ideas flow when it came to the meetings and things as such. We also thought we did a strong point with brand design. Just branding in general, Null and Void Entertainment was able to work with our artists to get a design, and we thought they looked pretty cool. We thought they did what they did, so we were appreciative of that. We also thought marketing was another strong point. With the live show, we were able to market really well. They enjoyed themselves. excuse me, at the show. And the website also did very well, as mentioned earlier. They said it looked very nice, and as you can see up there in the previous slide, it did look pretty nice. It was well put together. So one of our weaknesses was probably the band time. With this band having obligations to another band, sometimes it was sometimes it was difficult to meet up with their group and etc. just because of their obligations to the other bands. Another weakness was probably the social media. We were able to schedule out a future post for the band, but our presence wasn't as bright as we thought it could have been. So we still on the social media track. And lastly, but not least, we have our ticket sales. The show did go well and people were enjoying themselves, but with the ticket sales, we actually didn't charge for the show. So if we could find a better way to monetize just for the show for future references, it would probably help a lot. So yeah, so back to Gracie with our future plans.
Yeah, so from here we are interested in more live shows because we feel like that's where Wet Tape really shines the most. So this is a little pie chart of the expenses that we would use for a 7-city, 10-day small regional tour around Louisiana, Texas, and Arkansas. And yeah, we're also interested in investing in merch because we feel like that would be another good way of incentivizing the mailing list and getting more fans and making a little bit of money. So overall, we're really proud of what we've done so far and we feel like we have a bright future. Thank you.
All right, so I love the conceptualness of the video. That was awesome. I mean, that shows that a lot of thought was put into not only music content, but how it's delivered in more of the three-dimensional way. So thank you for that. I thought the song was just like, that was awesome. It was rocking. That was great. The $2 off bribe, fantastic idea. You can always upcharge by $2 for the next gig. Just a little marketing tip there, but that's awesome. It's definitely another give to get incentivizing method, and I love that. Good job, really good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would say that that video was that was the closest to a video that you could release commercially. It's a great example of less is more. I think you were helped by the fact that the aesthetic of the song helped you steer you in that direction. I didn't see the point of the dumpster shot actually. It was much stronger. Was those two guys just standing there smoking. I was curious to see where that video goes. Maybe you could have shots of them in front of an air conditioner. Kidding. No, but I thought it was great, and then the photography was very good. It looked like reminded me of Bad Brains and Fugazi and all the DC hardcore bands that I knew growing up. So I thought that was excellent.
I thought that this video, it's like the Coen brothers made a music video. It's a little bit scary all of a sudden. I agree with Rich about the dumpster shot. I mean, it's kind of an interesting idea, but the other part was so much stronger. But really excellent work. Spend the money on marketing. Don't keep the money. I mean, always spend the money, and especially on marketing. That's the thing. You're trying to get attention. You're trying to get awareness for your artist. We have a great song. I thought your branding was great. All the black and white stuff was consistent. Branding was consistent all the way across. Very good work on that. You might even consider using graffiti and somewhere, because you use it so predominantly in the scary shot, you know? So just an idea. I thought you were very frank about your weaknesses and proud of your strengths, and it's believable. It was believable when you said you thought you had a good website, because you kind of do. And but you know, it was good that you did that. What else? Comprehensive, crisp. I thought I enjoyed your performance. Thank you so much for your hard work.
Thank you.
Okay. The song is awesome. Like really, I just wanted to hear more of it. So the song, who was the engineer, the TA who recorded that?
Joe.
I thought I was about to say it had to be Joe. Okay. Yeah, because that's his genre, so I know he would love that. Yeah, no, he did a great job. The video was great. The video was really awesome. I would say the only thing that didn't I think one of you used the words, what was it? What was it? You said you wanted the video, the music to shock or
You just evoke feelings.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I wasn't uncomfortable. I thought it was awesome. I wasn't uncomfortable at all.
Maybe that's you, man.
I was not uncomfortable. I thought it was hilarious. You know, I was loving it. The music was great, so I wasn't uncomfortable. But maybe that's just me. I'm just an artistic guy. I appreciate it. I appreciated it all. So maybe the music was made for people like myself. So that was awesome. Good job.
Thank you.
I agree. I enjoyed the song. I enjoyed the video. I like the website as well. I wish you took more advantage of that logo because I would rock that sticker. You know, maybe that's another incentive for signing people up, or you know, getting tips at a show. You know, here's a free sticker with this super cool logo. Yeah, you also said pretty a lot, and it's another thing. Like I don't know if you're super into it. Just because you said it, you know, the show was pretty good.
Just nervous.
Yeah, I just wanted to point that out. But otherwise, really great job, guys.
Thank you.
May I ask one other question? The legal stuff, who did the legal stuff? Everything buttoned up? I didn't hear much about that.
Yes, sir.
We have the documents right now, all the documents required. I have to type my personal paragraphs about each document, but we do have the documents ready, and I'm not sure if the artists have signed every single one, but if not, we're gonna get them to sign it right now.
You know, this presentation, the ranking form has a legal section on it.
Yes,
So we didn't hear one word about legal.
Okay.
Make sure you include that next time. But otherwise, great job. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Spell pastimes right.
Okay, next presentation is going to feature a live performance. Again, set.
Oh, we didn't need it. Voice and guitar. John, this is unprecedented. Is that right down
Yep. This is, I have to admit, this is one of my favorite groups. I hope that's not a bad, it could be a bad thing that I like it. That's not necessarily good. But I really dug this song and this performer a lot, and I'm happy that she's here tonight to join us. And I'm going to introduce Praise, and she's going to introduce the artist. Praise Tillman, manager of Magnola.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Praise Tillman, and I'm the manager of Magnola. Our mission statement is bringing local music to life, and we plan on doing just that by supporting our local artists. Our artist is Mariah Houston. She's a dear friend of mine, and she is talented, a great singer and songwriter. So without further ado, Mariah Houston.
This is one of my shortest songs just for this occasion.
You from Pomona, why can't I let go of you? You're miles away from me, and I still want you. You from Pomona.
Hey guys, my name is Danny Thompson. I'm the marketing director for Magnola. We started All Profiles with Mariah's name and associated them with our label. Before the project, I had very little experience with Facebook and marketing in general. However, despite this weakness, I was able to learn from my mistakes, and I feel like I really did make a successful image for Mariah. Near the end of the semester, it became clear that using pre-existing accounts would have been a lot better, as they had a considerable fan base already created. Her personal Instagram and YouTube had a plethora of followers in comparison to the ones created at the beginning of the semester. And that allowed like the content, the music, like getting updates and stuff, it just made it a lot more efficient. We also got 16 emails at her live performance. They kind of openly just walked up, signed our list. 16 is pretty good, I think. But we can utilize these connections to have a better chance at guaranteed crowds at live performances and kind of get new content and new merch out. And above is our website analytics. You can very easy bullet points. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to our legal affairs.
Hi guys, I'm Summer Simmons. I'm the legal lady for Magnola. Above me here are just a list of the legal documents that we produced this semester for Mariah. We as a group have agreed that the group agreement and the artist agreement were the most significant documents that we made because we really value and believe in establishing common ground and mutual understanding amongst our group so we can reach our full potential and work in harmony. And for the artist agreement, we just found it really critical to be able to maintain and fulfill our duties so we can help Mariah reach her fullest potential as a young artist. And we also chose to use BMI as her PRO, and we also use Sound Exchange and TuneCore for the distribution of her music. And now I'd like to pass it off to Nick Pedroza, our creative director.
I'm Nick Pedroza, the creative director, and I was in charge of making Mariah's video, and I was really excited to make the video with her because I really enjoy the song that we chose to use for it, On and On. And I felt that her song had a wide open feel, so I decided to go to the Bywater in New Orleans, which is a place that's just like very wide open next to the Mississippi River, and just felt that it would suit the song the best. So we just spent a day there recording for about 5 hours, and I based the music video off of the film Amelie and the film Daisies from the 70s, which are just some fun experimental type films. We'll see in the music video we're playing next, but we got about 500 views on YouTube when we posted it in about a week and a half, and we just spread the word about it through word of mouth and our Instagrams and Facebooks. Here's the video.
Hey everyone, I'm Colin. I'm the A&R for Magnola. Originally, I thought this was going to be difficult. I thought that I picked A&R before I knew which artist I'd be representing, and I thought that what if the music they make I don't want to back? When Mariah came to me and I really understood her story, understand everything she wanted as an artist, I fell in love with her passion. And we recorded demos so we could know what we wanted going into the final project. And we actually made different changes and we made harmonies that we hadn't thought of in the beginning. For the TuneCore and actually releasing the file of the song and distribute it, we had a problem with the file and I had to solve it by a chain of emails with TuneCore, but it eventually all got solved and the song was actually released on the release date we had planned. And for the live show, we decided that because of her style of music, very folky, very welcoming, warm, kind of sit on your couch, drink coffee, listen. We chose the Neutral Ground Coffee House, and it worked well. It really went well with her style and performance. And we had 20 people within the venue come in and out. It was very casual, but it was also very impactful. She did walk away with $5 in tips. The problem was that since it was a neutral ground, there's no cover charge, we couldn't pay, but it was still great exposure for Mariah. And I'm gonna pass it back to Praise.
Okay, at the beginning of the project, each member is asked to give $20, so we had a total budget of $100. Most of that money was obviously spent on the website. It was $42. It was $19.95 for the domain name itself, and we spent $10 with TuneCore to distribute the single. We have $28 left over. With that, we plan on doing future merchandising like buttons, stickers, things of that sort. Also making up in our lack of making money with future shows with ticket sales. So cute. In Mariah's immediate future, she has joined forces with Color Block, which is a band who one of the members of our group is a part of. So they're doing a lot of local shows. And in her future, she'll continue to do singing and songwriting. She's going to continue to do shows with Color Block, and we're going to book shows for her by herself as a solo artist. In the project, we are also given the task of coming up with what we would do with $250,000. So I decided for our group that we would spend about $20,000 on marketing for Magnolia itself to invest in our artists. So this is a diagram of the things that we would do with that. Also, in Mariah's near future, we would like to do an album, a 10-song album, and that is about how much it would cost, according to all of my research, for engineers, studio time, rehearsal space, art, all of the works. And also for tour expenses, we're thinking about a 3-month-long, 7-state tour, and that's about how much it would cost a week. I believe that one of our biggest strengths were that we were all really great collaborators. There were no issues with our group as far as personalities, even though we're all very different. We worked well together, we meshed well together, and we are very proud of our product, and we're very proud of our artist, and we believe in her like a lot. And for one of our biggest weaknesses were unrealistic expectations. A semester sounds like a lot at the beginning of a semester, but when you're in it and you have your own schoolwork and all the stresses of college life, and most of us are freshmen, it got really hard to do all of the things that we really set out to do for Mariah, but we still want to do a lot of those things for her in the future. And now it's time for questions.
Nice. So, what was the video cost?
It was $0.
$0. That was awesome. The video was fantastic. There were some ideas, and it was just beautifully shot. So you have a knack for that. Continue to pursue that.
That was me and Mariah's roommate Tevia, actually. Tevye just had a really good camera. She had access to a really good camera, so we were able to use it. And but the ideas and like the shots were like the right decisions.
Yeah, I mean, you can have a great any kind of equipment, and it can still be a really crappy final product. But nice work. I just want to give you all props for clearly being in it with Mariah. You're in the trenches with her. You believe in her very clearly. Colin, even you said like, who's this person gonna be? I don't know if I'm gonna align. So, first of all, it might not be your aesthetic, but to be able to find something in an artist's work, in the statement the artist makes, that's what you latch onto. And it's very clear that although you're different humans, you've all found something in Mariah to believe in. So thank you for that.
Great artist, great video, great manager. You guys are awesome.
Unprecedented performance, by the way. Nice touch.
I thought that you were a great MC. I think it was probably the tallest group of the night. The market, I was impressed by the fact that you had different marketing efforts for different deliverables. I was completely impressed by the legal approach, the way you described what you did. I mean, that was very clear and very complete. Thank you for that. Of course, the artist is exceptional, and you say that, I mean, she's definitely worth working with, and definitely worth fighting for. So
It was a pretty easy decision.
You do your best on that. She plays trumpet?
Yes, she does, and she's fantastic at that also.
Is that part of the act, or?
It's really, she plays trumpet more for color block than right now in her solo things because, you know, trumpet and sing can't do that at the same time, but I'm sure in some of her future songs that she's planning on doing both.
Well, it's kind of fun, and it might be work into something at some point. But anyway, I thought you did a great job. Thank you for your
work. My only, I guess, comment is that I felt like I was on the X Factor and wanted to hit the button and turn around. Because, is that the voice? I'm sorry, I screwed it up, man. But it was awesome. And now the only thing I heard was seeing her live, her voice is beautiful. And in the recording, she has this kind of double kind of thing on her voice, which is interesting. But now that I've heard her live, I think that shouldn't be as prevalent on her voice as, I mean, because her voice is beautiful.
Yeah,
and that double kind of thing is, it's cool right now.
That's funny you say that because we actually had a version of the song. There's going to be a final version that it was even more doctored. We doctored.
Why you doctored it less?
Yeah. So,
yeah. So in the future, I think
We had to send it back to get some of it off, and we still planned like in the future with Mariah, especially knowing her as a live performer, seeing her in the flesh, we would really like to capture her sound better on recording.
Because it was beautiful. Who was your TA?
Finn.
Who?
Fionn.
Oh, Finn.
Yeah.
Okay. Finn.
Finn Hunter Green.
Yeah, thank you. I got you.
I just wanted to say a couple things. To piggyback off of that, the effect threw me off, having just seen her sing, because she has such a beautiful, clear, natural vibrato, and then to double that track with the effect, it threw me off. That said, it was cool for that song. Also, the photography that you put up while she was playing was really beautiful.
My roommate.
I mean, it was
also free.
Good photography goes a really long way, so kudos on that. Good job, youth.
Thank you so much.
Come on down. And a group that I'm detecting a certain color scheme here. UTERP Records manager Oliver Clayton. Ollie, take it away.
Hello everybody, thank you for being with us on this Wednesday night. I know it can be a little hectic considering there's finals next week, but I'm here with the rest of my team to proudly represent UTERP Records. So first I'm going to start by introducing the team. So we have Ariana Batso on marketing, Abigail Bro as creative, Christian Boxdorfer as our A&R, Brian Yell on legal affairs, and once again, I'm Oliver Clayton, the manager. So our goal at UTERP Records is to provide a platform where singers and songwriters are able to share their art on an international level. We plan to display passion towards prioritizing music as not only an art form, but a stable career. We strive to help and guide our artists' visions into tangible realities by providing them the creative freedom needed to find and express themselves. Our group's name, UTERP, is ancient Greek for delight or rejoice well. So when we first started the company, we tried to find an artist to fit that this description. Now I'm going to hand the mic over to Brian to talk about our artist.
Hello everyone, I'm Brian. I'm the legal rep for our team. So our artist is Maggie Feldman. She is from New York, New York, and she was inspired by Joni Mitchell, Ed Sheeran, and Neil Young, especially in her life. To find a group, we did an audition process. We had about 5 artists come out and audition for us. And just for us, Maggie stuck out the most because we really built a connection with her in her audition. We felt she was genuine, unique, and she was just something that we felt like no other group really had. And also, she brought a lot to the table for us to work with, including just her experience with gigs in the past. And she also had a lot of songs and material to present that we could work with in the studio and choosing the song and so forth. As a legal person, one thing I did was me and Maggie sat down and we registered her for BMI and Sound Exchange. And also, in regards to the logos, we had 2 designers, Isabella Iafrida and Manuel Santos, a student here at Loyola. So we had graphic design work for hire agreements for those. And now I'm going to pass the mic to Christian to talk to you about the recording process and the live show.
Hi, so when Maggie first played her song Waiting for our group, she hadn't really recorded it with a full band and she was used to just singing and playing acoustic guitar along with her vocals. And for the studio session, we brought in other musicians and had piano, bass, drums, and electric guitar for a solo at the end of the song to really bring the recording to life. And everyone was really well rehearsed for the session, and we were able to get it done in just about 3 takes. And so that part of the recording went smoothly. It was really the mixing process that served to be our biggest challenge. We weren't really satisfied with how it turned out, and we had some struggles working with scheduling and getting things tweaked with our TA. But we ended up hiring Samwise to get a mix we were a little more satisfied with and worked well for the artist. And Maggie's live show was at the Neutral Ground on November 16th at 9 p.m. 41 people attended the show, and her set list was a mixture of covers and original songs. And while most of the show she sang and played guitar solo on stage, for 3 of her songs she was accompanied by bass as well as piano. And while we were at the show, we collected 18 emails, bringing the emails on our list to a total of 66. And now I'm going to turn it over to Ariana, who's going to tell you about our social media.
Hey guys, my name is Ariane. I'm the director for the marketing. Before signing with UTERP Records, Maggie didn't have a social media related to her music, so I saw this as the perfect opportunity to create a brand new, fresh, and cohesive image of her as an artist. I chose Instagram as our main focus because I felt that at this stage, when an artist doesn't have a fan base yet, potential fans are more likely to be attracted to visual art rather than words. So we got a total of 290 followers. They were between ages 18 and 24, from New York, New Orleans, or San Juan. We got an average of 55 likes and 346 impressions per 19 posts. On Facebook, we got a total of 65 likes and 67 followers. And this past week, after releasing our song, we gained 24 likes and 567 post reaches that were all organic. On both of these platforms, we posted 3 times a week at least, both content and call to action posts. As for the song, we use DistroKid because it lets artists upload unlimited songs per year, and it is much faster than the competitors. For Spotify, we got 45 monthly listeners and less than 1,000 plays. For SoundCloud, we got 131 plays within just 1 week and a half of releasing the song. As of Bandsugo, we got a total of 70 total visits, 48 unique visitors, and 323 page views. As for the website, we chose Bandsugo because it is made for musicians by musicians, and this made it a lot easier for me to work with because of all the features that it comes with. In the homepage, we have a sign-up sheet that is a sign-up form that is connected to a MailChimp account, and it has 7 tabs, the homepage, and each has the logo, Maggie's logo at the very end, that if you click on it, it takes you back to the homepage and a contact list, a link that takes you to the contact page. Now on to Abigail to talk about the video.
Hey y'all, I am Abigail Bro, and I am proud to be creative of UTERP Records. For the music video, well, it was fun to film. Just blanked out on everything I thought I was gonna say. That's cool. Sorry, folks. Let's see. But yeah, so we decided to go against telling a story and kind of just show Maggie's bubbly personality to her new potential fan base as a UTERP artist. We wanted to stick with her image. If you noticed her logo, it's like a little flower. It's not on this slide, but it's a little flower growing out of the New York City skyline. And so to kind of stick with that theme for her music video, we took her to some urban settings. So we went on Frenchman, got a railroad shot. What else? Yeah, so then we also went to the park. No, we didn't go to the park. I'm sorry, I said that. We went to the river, went to the bayou, and we went to Uptown Beach. It took 2 days to film and about a week to edit, and without any further ado, here it is. Love you all.
This one state of mind. And the days were wasting away right by the hour. Let's stop wasting time. Sweet love of mine.
So, the video was filmed and edited by me, so we were able to save a pretty penny on that, and now Ali will talk about the finances.
So for our group's finances, we decided to pay the standard $20 per member, and instead of going into it with an initial spending plan, we kind of played it by ear. So, and then prioritize the important things. So for the website, we use Bandsugo because it's affordable, presentable, and professional. For releasing our song, we use DistroKid because you basically pay $20 for the year and you can upload unlimited songs while still keeping 100% profit onto all top streaming platforms. And so within our group, we had a handful of strengths and weaknesses. Some of our strengths being that we had prior knowledge and experience with videography, photography, and arranging music. We had an artist who had experience performing live and songwriting. We were all passionate about our artists, and we were all present and we had full participation at each meeting. Some of our weaknesses were that it kind of builds up in a chain effect where after mixing the song, we weren't too satisfied with the mix, which then led to lower stats and a lot of stress. And so to reach the song at a likable way to post it, we hired Samwise, the engineer, to fix up the song, and yeah, I guess that completes our presentation. So.
you had a problem, because I like the song. And I love like her image, and I like the website, and I think everything kind of falls in place. And so it all is cohesive, it makes sense. And that's a good thing, because some people have a hard time achieving the cohesiveness of song, image, look, logo. I think everything kind of falls into place. And I did catch the city line under the flower. I thought I was going crazy for a sec, but when you pointed that out, I was like, oh, okay, it is a city. As far as the engineer, you say you hired Sam Wise to fix it?
Yes, we did. There with the music video we just played, there was kind of a mix-up in the editing process, so the actual final mix isn't in the video currently, but it's on like Spotify and other streaming platforms.
Okay. Well, yeah, so other than that, I mean, I think it was, I had very little problems with it. I thought it was great job.
Thank you.
Okay. On top of it, with the yellow, you know I'm about that life. Look, my homeboy in a suit jacket. Also, you look like my little cousin, and you're freaking me out right now. I like that that you went out of your way to fix the mix. Although we didn't get to hear the fixed mix, which is a bummer, because I definitely heard room for improvement. So I'm glad that you took the initiative. I know somebody mentioned earlier, what are you gonna do? You pay to have it fixed. That's what you do. That's your job. You have to be satisfied with the product that you put out. Your artist has to be satisfied, and your artist has to know that you're gonna take care of them. So kudos to that. Kudos on the yellow. Good job, guys.
I just want to say good job. I know Maggie, and she's top notch. So, and I also know she's pretty demanding. So I was wondering if some of the mix stuff was because she wanted to make sure it was just right. But no, I think it's great. I think you guys are on the right track as far as just perfecting and drafts, working in drafts, getting as good as it can be. So good job.
I think you're seeing the fact that humans are kind of simple sometimes. We love just easy, gimme things like you guys all dressed in yellow. That's not, we're sophisticated humans, but we still respond well to that. So that's not something to be overlooked instead of some wild, outlandish marketing plan. Speaking of marketing, I loved all the effort. You really put a lot of muscle into reaching her fans, garnering a fan base. My only concern was that there wasn't a branded font that was cohesive between that poster with the brick wall, the website, the font you use in the slides. So as an emerging artist, it's really, really important to maintain a static type of branding for quite some time so that you can have immediate fan recognition and to say oh, I know this font, I don't even have to read the words to it, I know it's gonna be Maggie. So just thinking about having across the board cohesion in just even the typography that you use is super important, but it was a really lovely job, so congratulations.
Yeah, and the yellow throughout, I mean, in her stuff too, what you did with the all match stuff, it was clever. I would love to have heard more about legal. I assume that it's in the paperwork. I didn't quite catch it on here. I thought the graphics were really good. I thought the photography was really good. What else? I think that's it. I mean, that was a nice presentation. Thank you very much for your work.
Thank you.
One other thing, there was, when you got nervous, you got over it. You got through it. So that was good, It's hard to present sometimes, but you did a good job. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. All right, 2 groups to go. Next up, Scratch Records. Their artist is another intro student, known for the moment as G. And their manager is Tristan Jones. Take it away, Tristan.
What's up, y'all? I'm Tristan Jones. We are Scratch Records. We are dedicated to the cultivation, promotion, and development of unique music. Our live show A&R is Karis Johnson. Our creative is Danny Carden. Our marketing is Harrison Keeley. Legal is Chris Eibert. And A&R recording is Alexander. our artist, as G has previously said, and to explain a little bit about her, we're going to hand it off to Danny.
Hi, I'm Danny, and I was the creative. I met G the first week of school, immediately was captivated by her natural skills in songwriting. And so I think the first thing that I noticed about her was that she kind of wanted to go through like a social metamorphosis. So we kind of had to figure out exactly who she wanted to be and how we could represent herself truly. So we had to ask ourselves, who is G? Well, there are a couple things that go into who she is. One, she's from Seattle, so she naturally has a darker, grungy look. And then also we chose her name because that is her original Chinese name, which is derived directly from where she was born in China. But I think nobody says it better than G herself. She's a bad bitch on the rise. So, kind of had to figure out, all right, we know she's a bad bitch on the rise. How do we communicate that with a music video? Her song is up-tempo, kind of about like, no, I'm not your girl, I'm not your baby, I'm G. So this is my interpretation of it. Thank you so much to Chris Greening, who helped me film. I edited it myself. I think in the future I would have somebody else edit it because, well, I'm not a film major, but did the best I could. That was not an artistic choice. We had music.
Unplug the HDMI and plug it back in. Got it.
To Alexander, who will tell you a little about the song.
So G had a look. We found G a look, but then we had to find her a sound. One of the reasons we picked her in particular was because of her deep songwriting profile. So we sat her down and we listened to all of the music that she'd written. And all of it sounded sort of the same. We had a lot of very deep, emotional, but powerful acoustic ballads. Slow, perfect for a coffee house performance. But we wanted to broaden that demographic. So first we sped the thing up, and then we arranged a bass part, a drum part, 3 guitar tracks, and a keyboard track, and we recorded that along with her vocal and her harmony that she had written all under 3 hours. Then I mixed that myself so that I could make sure I could keep the control of the quality, and Scratch Records could have the best music for its artists that we possibly could. Now we picked Push and Pull in particular because you can hear that clear hook of Push and Pull followed by the guitar line that repeats 3 times in that song. It's clearly a hit song that people are going to latch onto, people are going to understand, and people are going to be able to really relate to G right off the bat.
So as manager, I am divided the role I took into 3 parts: the budget, the plan, and what I plan in the future. The basic plan at its bottom level was to improve G's social media and her presence and style in general, to record her a single, to get her a live show and a video, and to make her known to the public. We did all that fairly successfully. For the future, what we plan on is, in the next 6 months, if we got a bigger budget, we would fund a 10-album song and a local tour at first to really get her name out. Then we try to do a golf course tour second. We fund the tour. We'd also take pictures, flyers. We put a lot of money into marketing because that's where I felt we were weakest on this project. We put more money into social media, and we try to get a more grassroots organization with a street team. And the budget was pretty simple, so we each put in about $20, and we had a pretty low cost. It was around $45 for the video and $40 for CD Baby. G was happy to pay for the website herself, so any complaint there. And yeah. So on to legal with Chris Seibert.
Thanks, Tristan. Okay, so we, whenever we signed Betty to Scratch Records, we knew we had a lot of groundwork to cover. And the reason was because ever since Betty started her career, she had been more focused on the creative aspect rather than the business aspect. This meant that she was not affiliated with any of the PROs, no email lists, no songs really on any major streaming platforms. However, we did see that it was a lot easier in the creative processes than it was in the business processes because G has known a lot about herself artistically. And moving on to the legal aspect, we tried to make sure that G would get all the royalties she could off her music while still keeping some money to where we'll still be able to function. We had all of the band members from the live session and the recording session sign work for hire agreements. We also had her signed to CD Baby for 2 major reasons. One, because it's just one fee you have to pay. And then also, we found that they had great relationships with disc makers, and we found that that was one of the best ways for merchandise. Also for BMI, we found BMI the best for 2 reasons. One, mainly because it's one of the top PROs in America, one of the top 3 mainly. And also we found that it was free, so it was perfect for us to start up. And also at the end of the term set in Betty's artist agreement, at the end of the term she is entitled to all the rights to her songs unless she wants to sign for another term.
Hi, my name is Harrison Keeley, and I'm the marketing executive for Scratch Records. When you have such an artist that's as talented as Betty, you want to do the best for her with your group work, and marketing is a really key component to an artist. When we started out working with Betty, she had a Twitter and Instagram page, but it wasn't music-centric. So my team and I took over both pages and turned them into music profiles. Another huge development was using Bandzoogle to create a website. A website really legitimizes an artist, and it gives them a place to put their content, their shows, their songs, and so many other things. And another huge development was using SoundCloud to put out her single, Push and Pull. So this is kind of a breakdown of all our social media. As you'll see, Instagram, she has over 3,000 followers, and that's really been the driving force behind our social media. And over there is a breakdown of our viewership percentage, and the huge block is Instagram, the tealish block is Twitter, and the other one is Snapchat.
And for the performance, it says where, when, and why. So we had the performance December 1st at Satchmo's, and we had it with 3 other music industry students, including Danny Carden. And when finding a venue, I knew I wanted to find a place that best suited G's musical style and her visual style, and I thought of something more intimate, something that would be easier to get people to come to because she's not well known yet at the school. So I thought Satchmo's was the best place. We had about 30 people come and watch, and we also had an email list to sign up for, and we got about 21 emails, so that was very successful.
Thank you for your time. We are Scratch Records.
Nice work, guys. If you're gonna use the term social metamorphosis, you gotta explain that a little bit more from where you're coming from to where you wanted to take her.
Okay.
Do you want
me to talk
yeah,
about it?
Yeah, talk about it.
Sure. I feel like when I met Betty at first, I kind of, well, her style, as Alexander said, was kind of like singer-songwriter. And, you know, like, do you picture like a singer-songwriter in your head? Like, if I say, like, she's a singer-songwriter, do you kind of have an image?
Sure.
That's kind of how I saw Betty at first, which isn't necessarily like bad bitch, like single, like diva kind of. And that's kind of, I feel like, what she wanted to go towards. And then also I think like she wanted to own her like Chinese heritage a little bit more and explore that side of her. So that's kind of what.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I think the thing I'm struggling with, I guess, is I keep hearing the term bad bitch, and I expect two guys standing next to each other, one smoking a cigarette and one jumping in a dumpster, in that like aesthetic of grunge and like just coming at you in an upstroke, that's like a little boppy. So the image and what I'm hearing aren't kind of adding up, I think.
What we wanted to do was find that power that she wanted to reach, but at the same time, she really wanted to keep a hold of those singer-songwriter acoustic roots. So you can even hear that in the music. The acoustic guitar, like you said, is really clear. Lots of upstrokes, lots of very positive vibes. But at the same time, we're introducing the energy in the clothing, the style, and some of the other elements that is more aggressive and independent.
Okay. Last comment, just, I know her pretty well as a singer. The lead vocals in that mix were dicey. I would have had that re-recorded because she doesn't sound like that, and there was some lacking tone in her lead vocals, so I just be careful. Thank you.
Yeah, I've never heard her sing, so I wasn't sure. That was my only taste of it. But my one comment is it's. First of all, you guys had good presentation energy. I liked all your presentations. Are you Alex?
Alexander, yeah.
Alexander, I thought you have like a TED Talk level energy on stage. Like you could present anything. It was very interesting. But that being said, I think it's a kind of a bold move when you put her into like the rock context. It's not a insurmountable path, but I feel like right now that's not like where pop music is really, so you're going more niche, I think, automatically. Sure. Which I don't mind, but I guess it's a sort of a calculated risk. So that was my one comment about that. And the other bouquet I wanted to throw was that in the first shot in that video we saw was a perfect example of lots of action where the camera was doing a lot of motion, which prevented the performer from having to give all the energy. You know, so that was great to see that camera moving around her and giving her a chance to, and also it was night, so there was light. It was a very interesting context to put her in, so that was a smart move.
I don't have much to say. The song itself, like he said, he kind of hit on what I was going to talk about. It sounds kind of dated, very late 80s-ish, kind of rock-oriented. Other than that, I mean, it can work if it's done right. And like Kate said, the vocals, you know, could need a little touch up here and there. Once again, that just comes with repetition and having the time to be able to do all of those things. And also, once again, like they hit on, it's a little confusing because you see these pictures and these images. It's very kind of, it gives you a certain feel. And then you hear the video, you hear the music and then see the video. It's like a different tone. So it kind of, it feels like two separate things going on. I get what you said though. And once again, you know, I was ready to give you $5 to buy the single because you smashed, your energy is work. Keep that whenever we do that. Your energy was great, you know, so yeah. So keep it up. I'm done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree across the board. Your presentation was really well prepared, pretty tight, good energy. Tristan, you just smooth like butter. You know what I mean? I'm a fan. Alex, I'm quietly a huge fan of yours. ponytail, sorry. I, just like a general question for everybody, I guess. I'm a little surprised that nobody has been willing to pay for promotion, like a sponsored post on Instagram or a promoted post on Facebook. That's really the only way to get to the next level of views because of the mechanisms that Facebook and Instagram and all those social media sites have in place now. You have to pay to play, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of surprised that, you know, so many groups have gone under budget. I feel like you should spend every dollar that you have at your disposal to get the most promotion for your artist. Also, the green filter shot on the video was a little strange for me. There was one frame that it felt like it was on for a really long time. But other than that, I really did enjoy the aesthetic of the video. It was just that green filter that really threw me off. Otherwise, good job, guys.
Yeah, I thought the video, the way you edited with the music was done well, because it was kind of tied to the phrase of the music. I thought, like the movement on the stage, and the presentation was good. We had a few bumps, but it was not a big deal. I thought that there was a graphic with data towards the end that didn't have any numbers in it. You know, you were showing movement but no numbers. I think it was an incomplete document. The budget was a little bit lame, but not a big deal. I thought you did a good job. Thank you very much for your hard work. We appreciate it.
All right, come on down. It's that time. We got one more presentation. We've done 23 presentations. You guys have really had actually a pretty unique experience, because the intro class has never been this big, and I pray to God it will never be this big again. But what it has meant is that you guys have gotten to see a lot of each other's work, and a lot of different artists, and a lot of different approaches to the problem of how to do this project. So that's pretty cool. I really want to thank our faculty panelists, Kate, Rich, John, UP, and Mia, for being out past 10 on a rainy weeknight. These are people who already work very hard, and to get them to come here and do this for 3+ hours, and their feedback is so valuable, and thank you so much for your comments and your insights. It's really great to have you guys here. And for everyone who participated in the project, for all the groups, thank you so much for going through the project. Give yourselves a hand. This is a challenging process, and I know that it's challenging because I hear from you in my office, in emails and texts, that you're stressed out, that you don't know if you can keep going, that you can't stand someone in your group, that your artist is driving you crazy. Look, it's all normal. It's all part of the game. And it's supposed to be challenging. We don't apologize for the fact that it's challenging, because as challenging as it is, it's still not 1,000th as challenging as, you know, really doing it for real. And that's what you guys are moving towards, not just doing it in the sandbox, but doing, you know, doing what these projects are sort of a little abstract of, doing it for real, in the real world. And it's, you know, to do it in the real world is light years away from what you've done, but it is kind of the same thing. There is an analogy. If you can make this work on a small scale, you can make it work on any scale. So I hope that you've taken something out of it, whether it's learning how to work with an artist, or learning what BMI is and what it does, or learning how to edit a music video, or any of the various things. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope it yields lessons, not just now, but down the road and for the rest of your careers. And it's such an honor for me every semester to be a part of these. So with that in mind, we have one more group to go. Their manager, Abby Peach. Take it away, Abby.
I'm the manager here at Swampside Records, and this is my awesome team.
I'm Jack Perry, the live A&R.
I'm Emily Polly, I'm the legal representative.
I'm Soraya Isis Deddy, I was the studio A&R.
I'm Fabiola, and I'm doing marketing.
I'm Juan Piedra, and I'm doing creative.
So yeah, Swampside Records is a record label, obviously, and our mission is to celebrate and uplift music from all realms of the art and to enhance the creative mind of all of those involved. And specifically with Vinlisa, we wanted to transform her from a YouTube cover artist into a real artist, playing real gigs with a market and a brand and her own stuff, so yeah.
So, who is Vinlisa? Vinlisa is originally from Boston, but she's raised most of her life here in Louisiana. She has a very singer-songwriter vibe, but she's also very into alternative R&B. Artists such as SZA, Kehlani, Jhené Aiko, these are artists that can kind of be attributed to artists like Vinlisa. So, why did we pick her? Well, here at Swampside, we had a vision for what we wanted our artists to look like and what we wanted our artists to sound like, and when I say she fit that mold perfectly, she has a beautiful raw voice. Aesthetically, she's beautiful, and she was very easy to work with, and it was just a pleasure being her A&R working with her. So when it came to branding Vinlisa, she has a very mysterious girl next door type of vibe. You want to know who she is, so you want to listen. You want to listen to what she has to say, you want to listen to what she has to sing. And she also is very in love with the outdoors and nature. That was very much a part of her aesthetic, so we tried to capitalize on that and make that a part of who she was. Now specifically with the song that you're going to hear coming up, Maybe, she's talking about the silver lining in complicated relationships. In her words, we remain in them for a reason, we stay in them for a reason. We remain in complicated relationships because through all the ups and downs, there's sort of a light at the end of the tunnel. That's what she was trying to help the audience understand in her song Maybe. And we'll have Juan talk about the music video.
The play button is invisible.
Yeah, it's in the corner.
So for the music video, we drew inspiration from videos from SZA, Time Travel Undone, and from Selena Gomez's Fetish. For kind of the color scheme, we were shooting for a big contrast of colors against black. So like you can see like her yellow skirt and her black top. And for the shoot, we went to City Park. Since it's very tied to her aesthetic, kind of naturalistic, there were a lot of colorful flowers, which we used for our advantage, as you saw like in the filter. And an associate of Jack's, called Mikael, he helped us out with the video, he helped us edit it and film it too.
Hi, I'm Fabiola, and I did the marketing for Swampside Records. We started off making stickers for Lisa that Jack Perry designed himself, and they turned out great, so we use them as an incentive to get people to subscribe to her email list. We also did some flyers that Jack also designed, but those we decided to post on her social media instead to promote her show because people always end up throwing flyers away. As for her social media, Lisa is a YouTube cover artist, so she obviously had her own channel already with more than 125 followers or subscribers. So when we released her video for Maybe, she got more than 200 views in less than a week, so that was pretty great. She also had a big following on Instagram, so we decided to use her personal Instagram and mix it up with her music so she could promote her upcoming shows, any updates on videos, music. So we also took advantage of that, and while we were recording the music video, we decided to do a live stream on kind of a behind the scenes. For the website, we bought the domain vanlisa.com. We use Vanzoogle as our CMS, and Lisa really wanted to connect with her fans, so she wrote a letter-like bio, and we have all her new music and videos. We have upcoming shows, a photo gallery, and other links to her other social media that you can find, and a way to contact her through the site. On Monday night, before her live show, we paid a Facebook promo, and it reached 262 people, so that was good. We got people to go to the show. And so our budget ended up being $136. We spent $50 on mixing, $40 on a videographer, $20 on the stickers, distribution was $15, the domain was $10, and the Facebook ad promo was a single dollar. Next.
So for distribution, we decided to use CD Baby because we had looked at all the other competitors and we felt that because it can reach over 95 different streaming platforms and with only a one-time fee of $10 with the single, we thought that would be great because it would stay up forever and wouldn't have to tie us down to fees monthly or yearly. And it also took care of the sync licenses, which we really liked as well. It also had a quick release in a store that it would sell the song on too, as kind of included with that one-time fee. So all around, it was a great option for us over other competitors.
Last night, our artist performed at the Neutral Ground where she debuted her new song, Maybe. Despite there being limited people showing up, Lisa had a great time, and she's looking forward to performing there in the future. In addition to this performance, she started the year off by performing at both Freshman 15 performances at the Willow, along with opening for Breezy and Luke Zell's individual shows.
So some of the strengths of our group would be teamwork and problem solving that went hand in hand, definitely. We ran into a few roadblocks kind of along the way with recording and making sure we could get everything running on time. But whatever it was, we made sure that we could really just problem solve to the best of our ability and represent our artists and getting the best product possible out. We also were very flexible, learning especially with the whole time constraints and having, like one of the groups said, a semester seem a lot longer than it really is. Being flexible and getting everything out as soon as we could and on a really tight time basis was a great way for us to really work together.
Our biggest challenge was the lack of studio presence. For one, our TA pushed back our studio time by 2 weeks, which made us late for the assignment. Additionally, the mix that we got back didn't express the vibe that we were going for, so we ended up creating a new song and paying Sam Wise to mix it for us. Additionally, CD Baby has delayed the single's release because we changed the album cover. In the future, we hope to give Lisa a show every month at various venues. Additionally, we want to book her a regional tour in the South. Along with this tour, we want to release a five-song EP that would be featured on this tour. Additionally, we want to get her a sponsorship, increase her social media presence, and eventually have her open for bigger artists. Thank you.
One thing I don't know if we mentioned it, but with the stickers that we had, we did those in exchange for emails. And we actually have some for all of you guys who we wanted to hand out. So we got 42 emails total, by the way.
Nice work on the emails. Congratulations on being a group that, you didn't use color uniformly, but your energy, like just how excited you were to be, thank you, ma'am, to be, presenting this artist, I don't know, it was this union that I felt, which was great.
Girl, we had to.
That's awesome. You backed your artist. Yes, that's excellent. I will give specific props to Emily and Abby. Your stage presence. There's just an ownership of the stage and what you're saying, in all of you, but specifically you guys shine in that. Let's talk about that mix of that song. And it sounds like you've had some ups and downs with dealing with that, but
Most definitely.
just for you guys in the future, always listen. I love good 808 beat sound, but always listen for the vocal mix and how forward or backwards it is in the mix, because it was so far back that her diction got lost and it was hard to tell what words she was saying just because it got blurred by the beat. And just a question about the video, is it our Loyola Wireless that got it all choppy?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really clear, and it was in the website too. Like the website looked kind of unclear, but it was completely on our Prezi when you're on it on our laptops.
Okay, it's just, it's
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
and you.
Great,
Yeah.
so.
It's me, it's not you. Okay. All right, nice job. That was excellent.
Thank you.
Here we go, mic check. Okay, so as the, once again, Kate, taking everything.
Sorry.
The mix was, not a good look. I understand that you guys had a problem with TAs, and I always tell you guys when I meet with you, when y'all have problems like that, make sure you contact me also. And you didn't contact me, so that's one thing that should have happened at some point in there, so that I can make sure that you guys had a better sound, because, that was kind of unacceptable. The idea was great though, and I could hear the talent in the mix, even though the mix wasn't where it should sit. And my only question, as far as the video and her look, is that when I hear that music and I kind of imagine it in my head, that image isn't 100% what I see. So that's my only thing. Her image didn't 100%. I see where you were trying to go, but her image needed a little bit more tweaking for that style of music to make it really cohesive. Because if you look at a SZA video and the people like that you were emulating, there's a kind of a vibe to it, and there's a way that she dresses that helps bring out even the energy of the music. So other than that, great job.
Thank you.
And the whole sliding with the things and all that was awesome.
Yeah, I like the, your presentation was on point, except for the internet issues. That's whatever you guys use, super cool. I'm into that Prezi. I'm too old, I don't know what that is. Did you guys talk about legal?
No, I'm a legal representative. We weren't sure, with the way that it was flowing and stuff, that I have everything set up and can answer any questions that you have, but it was just the way that it was flowing didn't really.
Gotcha, okay, just
Yes.
wanted to.
Yes.
Make sure that all that was square.
Mhm.
Otherwise, good job. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Very good. I just have one note. You guys, if your goal is to position her as an artist, as maybe don't mention that she was a YouTube cover artist. Just leave that behind. Because every time you mention it, I'd be like, oh wait, she's a YouTube cover artist. And so then I was thinking about it differently.
Okay.
But because she seems like an artist in her own right, and it looks like there's a lot of promise with her. She seems great.
You know, all the groups tonight have been great. You were great. I think that the way you personalized that artist with all the photographs and the video, it was very much artist-centric, and I thought that was a good idea. I think there was maybe some disconnect between the imaging and the song, but not a big deal because it was pretty thorough. So I appreciate that. The legal stuff we needed to see. We have to.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
So you're pretty buttoned up about it.
Yeah, we have all the work for hires. We have the videographer have one. Jack did a lot of our work with the graphic design, with photography, and as a musician. All three of those have their own separate works for hire. She's registered with BMI, anything like that, checked off for sure.
I thought the presentation was very nice. A couple of out of focus images from screenshots, but not a big deal. Thank you very much. Thank everybody in the room, and we really appreciate it. You know, when you start out at the beginning of the semester and you're given this project, it's somewhat intimidating, and then you go through this journey and you end up on the stage presenting these artists. I mean, it's gratifying to us, but it's got to be gratifying to you too. So we appreciate everyone's hard work. It's a great, great night, and thank you everybody for what you've done. Thank you.
Thank you so much.